the scams. It's good news for Illinois schools. Outgoing Governor Bruce Rauner has found a new option to help find substitute teachers in the new year. A new law from 2019 from Chicago Democrat LaShawn Ford and the governor allows school districts to work with temp agencies to find qualified subs. Subs would have to be licensed to teach and would still have to meet classroom guidelines. As expected, Bear playoff tickets already sold out. Bears snatched up the Ducats yesterday for a wild card or divisional game in about 2 hours. Patrick Kane scored twice. Blackhawks beat the Stars 5-2 in Dallas. Blackhawk winger Alex DeBrincat credited goalie Cam Ward with big saves.
Yeah, he's played great. He comes up with key saves when we need it, and he's just been great for us.
Bulls welcome the Magic tonight without Bobby Portis. He'll be out 2 to 4 weeks with a sprained right ankle. College hoops. Notre Dame beat Jacksonville. Western Illinois topped Chicago State, and our Northern Illinois Huskies lost to the Norse of Northern Kentucky. The news is a service of Peloton, the perfect gift for them and you. This holiday, Peloton is the perfect gift for them and you, so give them up to 14 live cycling classes every day and thousands more on demand. Plus, you'll get to clip in too, as long as they're not riding. Go to onepeloton.com or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oak Brook Center, and Westfield, Old Orchard. 508, check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
As we prepare to celebrate Christmas this year, AM 560, The Answer, wants to give a gift to you. The gift of Christmas music. From the morning of Christmas Eve all the way through Christmas Day.
I'm Dusty Rhodes with a warm winter's welcome to our annual holiday presentation. Again this year, the tradition continues.
Non-stop Christmas music. Right here on AM 560. From traditional favorites to hits from today. Our gift to you here on AM 560. Brought to you by Balance of Nature and by Wealth Management Group.
Some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. The smart way? ZipRecruiter. They actively find and invite qualified candidates to apply. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack. ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, said, "The essence of investment management is the management of risk, not returns." Hi, this is Joe Lopresti, president of Arlington Capital Management. I'm here to explain how we help manage our clients' exposure to risk. We're the creators of our proprietary proactive asset allocation strategy, known as PAS. It is designed to analyze important market trends and alert us to potential changes in the market. But that's only part of what I believe makes Arlington Capital Management unique. It's the care and personalized service we provide our clients that really defines us. We understand how important your financial goals are to you and your family, and we never take that responsibility lightly. It all starts by understanding the things that are most important to you. It's part of the Arlington Capital Management difference. To experience it for yourself, schedule your complimentary consultation by calling 855-471-5796. That's 855-471-5796, or visit arlington-capital.com.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's and save 5% on eligible purchases every day made with a Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% savings in-store and online. Subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
5:11, and let's get a check on the roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here is Jim Telemonte.
On the outbound Eisenhower Expressway going to the extension, traffic's heavy from Reagan Tollway to Tri-State. There's a stall blocking the left center lane. Inbound I-57 traffic bottled up. Halstead to merge after overnight work. 18 minutes I-80 to Ryan. Bishop Ford, 24 minutes. Heavy from 103rd to the Ryan. Tri-State Tollway southbound. South of the Adams Tollway I-90. Some debris blocking the right lane. The other tollways are wet, but otherwise okay right now. No delays to report on the 8-inch to Kennedy. We'll have heavy traffic and street closures in Oak Lawn, along 103rd, Cicero, and Chicago 79th Western. Funeral, fallen officer Conrad Gary. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Colder day today, clouds and breezy, high 36. Breezy this evening, patchy clouds tonight, low 24. Intervals of clouds and sun tomorrow, high 39. Stray flurries on Sunday morning, otherwise sunshine, high 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
35 at O'Hare, 36 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. You're clapping on this first day of winter.
Oh, that's right.
Did you know?
I have this friend.
It's going to be a very dark day, if you know what I mean.
Good friend of mine who gets totally depressed on the day of the summer solstice because that means that the days are going to get shorter. I mean, I know that I used to get upset when July 4th rolled around when I was going to school because, that means that school's coming back in about 6 weeks. 6 more weeks till school. But he got depressed when the summer solstice hit. That's really getting depressed. But today, he should be ecstatic because the days are going to get longer again.
Right. This is it. This is the darkest day, but there's more light every day. Today is a dark day because of what happened yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Well, did you hear the news?
Wow.
The Secretary of Defense resigned because of Trump's tweet. Well, I think it is a big deal.
Yeah. Is it really?
No, I mean,
is Syria a big deal? How big a deal is a war where we have 2,000 soldiers there? That's not a war.
Well,
Vietnam, that's a war.
Well, that's a war, yes, but it's a peacekeeping mission, also training the Kurds, our friends, our allies, how to stay safe and to fend off ISIS once we leave.
And
we'll get the latest
Turks.
At 7:07 from Colonel Cedric Leighton, and Jed Babin will be joining us as well.
Who's Jed Babin?
Jed Babin, former United States Deputy Undersecretary of Defense and contributor to the Washington Times and the American Spectator. Spectator.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spectator.
Spectre is the outfit, spy outfit that we're against.
Exactly.
In the James Bond movie.
So this is what happened. General Mattis woke up on Thursday morning, called President Trump at 7:30 and said, I need to meet with you. This does not sit well with me. This is a matter of concern. Us pulling troops out of Syria and possibly 7,000 out of Afghanistan. So they meet at 3 o'clock. They have the meeting. President Trump is not budging. So he hands him a 2-page resignation letter. And basically it says that he would be better aligned with a defense secretary that's better aligned with his personal views. And now he said he has until February until he actually leaves the office.
And by that time, President Trump could have changed his mind several times.
Well, here's the deal. I mean,
I think he's going to change his mind just like he changed his mind on the budget.
You think so?
On the wall. He did. He reversed himself. Ann Coulter.
And Rush Limbaugh both forced him to change his mind.
Ann Coulter and Rush Limbaugh combined 340 pounds. Rush providing about 320 of those pounds.
Stop it. Yeah, they came out. They changed their mind, but we'll get to.
They changed
I know,
his
but
mind.
we'll get to that in a little bit, Bruce. Stay focused. But here's Leon Panetta describing, what life is like now. We're not living in a safe place, don't you know?
And I think Jim Mattis, to a large extent, sensed that degree of chaos and recognized as a man of integrity that there comes a time when the Secretary of Defense has to stand up for what he believes. That's who Jim Mattis is, and I think that's what he did today.
Just for the record, Spectre is the outfit that we fought in the James Bond movies. Chaos is the outfit that we fought in Get Smart. So,
okay. Catherine Herridge and Jennifer Griffin, both from Fox News, they're both assigned to the Pentagon there. They just said morale has never been lower.
Aww.
Well, no, it's a dark day. If Fox News is saying things are bad, things are bad.
Part of
Bruce.
Fox News is doing it. Part of Fox News.
The part that's assigned to the Pentagon?
Most of the fighting to destroy ISIS in Syria.
Wrong.
It's Lindsey Graham.
That's Lindsey Graham.
And I
this was not something that Secretary Mattis did lightly. I had been told by sources here in the Pentagon, amidst the rumors that Mattis was leaving during the past year, that he would not leave unless he was pushed out. This was not a decision he takes lightly. He clearly has been at odds with the president over a number of issues, especially if you look in the last few days, the issue of pulling all U.S. troops out of Syria. That is something that Mattis opposed. That is something that all of the top leaders here in the Pentagon, as well as the U.S. Central Command generals, opposed. I was told by a very well-placed source here in the Pentagon that morale has never been lower at meetings here at the Pentagon of the top brass in the last few days to discuss the pullout of troops from Syria.
This is, well, I mean, do Republicans have heartburn right now? Are the wheels coming off the bus, as one conservative said? 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line, 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. I mean, we're a little chaotic right now. We're heading towards a partial government shutdown, which I know you Republicans don't seem to care about. Also, the stock market is a hot mess. If you looked at your 401k and saw how much money you've lost over the week,
I never
the
paid
Dow
attention.
down 2,000 points in just 1 week.
Oh boy!
And then
it's Armageddon.
No,
I don't. All I know is I got a brand new cell phone that is so unbelievably much. It's so much better than the iPhone 7, which I thought was the greatest thing in the world. I don't know. To me, happy days are here again.
So this doesn't bother. You're not concerned at all.
No, the America, flyover country, which is where I'm from. As a matter of fact, I'm broadcasting from it right now. It's not that big a deal. It's because I think there's reasonable positions on both sides of this issue. I actually listened. I did some show prep. I listened to.
You did?
Yeah,
Where?
for a change.
Where?
I listened.
Justin, Keith, you had the show prep? Where?
I listened to a National Review editor's podcast yesterday, refereed by Rich Lowry.
Yeah.
And he had David French.
Oh my gosh, all your heroes in one
Iraqi
podcast.
veteran.
How could you control yourself?
Iraqi veteran who's in favor of staying
of a troop
in
withdrawal,
there.
or in favor
no.
of
He's
staying?
in favor of staying in there. He's worried about ISIS reconstituting itself. It's going to be Obama redux. Okay, I get that. But they also had on. This is why National Review is Catholic with a small c, because they had Michael Brendan Doherty on there, who gives the Trump position only in a reasonable manner, and he's basically saying, "What's the end game here?" Eventually, you're going to have some kind of radical regime taking over in Syria. We've exacerbated the migrant problem. We're sitting there. We don't know what to do. So that's the Trump position. And I still think that Trump, being the will-o'-the-wisp that he is, he just reversed positions on the wall. He could reverse his position or partially reverse his position, saying we're going to have aerial support for the Kurds.
Oh, we'll send in drones.
Right, we'll do
That'll
that.
be operated from Vegas.
And then the generals will say it's not enough, and we'll put boots on the ground back again.
Yeah, but for General Mattis to resign, and then President Trump comes out and says that he's retiring in February, which was a lie. That is another lie.
Well,
Come on. I mean, this is a president. People found out, a four-star general found out via Twitter that we were pulling troops out of Syria. Have the decency and respect to make a man-to-man phone call or to call the State Department or the Pentagon. It is ridiculous.
I, for one, as an American, love the fact that the President of the United States wants to include me on the conversation with the general. There's no secrets here. We're all in this together. So tweet on, Mr. President.
This is a president who doesn't like to sit down with advisors and those experienced in foreign policy and national defense policy and listen to them, listen to their advice. Every president in recent history takes the time to listen to his advisors because they know, frankly, a hell of a lot more than the president does.
I don't know.
And so the responsibility here is to listen to that advice.
No.
And to understand the consequences and what it means to the interests of the United States.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a president who operates by somehow his gut instinct.
Yeah, he operates
and
by gut.
also,
No,
I
listen,
think,
Mike,
how he reads the politics of the moment. He enjoys chaos because he thinks chaos produces attention for him. But the problem is chaos.
Who is this?
A steady
Leon
diet
Panetta.
of chaos.
Oh, Leon Panetta
Creates
Former
hell for
Secretary
the
of
American
Defense.
Who cares
people.
about Leon
I
Panetta?
know you're gonna say
Who's
that.
voted
I
for
know.
who voted for Leon Panetta lately? I got to listen to Leon Panetta. He's taken away from my time on the air.
Well, he kind of has experience
Who cares
in that
what
position
you know
because
what?
he was in it.
Do we have a commander in chief for a reason? He's not. Abraham Lincoln fired his generals. Okay, he didn't like McClellan, so he said, "Get out of here. Bring me Ulysses S. Grant." That's what a commander-in-chief does. If he doesn't like what one of his generals is saying, there's another one down the pike. Now, having said that, maybe the
I don't
advisors
know.
are
I don't know how
right.
many
I don't
people
know.
are lining up to become the new Secretary of Defense.
Mad Dog. I hate that name. I hate it. You hear? Nobody calls me Mad Dog.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
The average smoker tries to quit up to 30 times, and many are looking for an alternative. Juul was designed by smokers, for smokers, to be a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Juul is a vapor product that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. If you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Make the switch at Juul.com. That's JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba. It's our winter survival kit for this cold and flu season. It's power-packed with natural ingredients, and unlike the flu shot, it's safe and effective. First, it's our Sunny C 1000. It's highly absorbable, and it does not suppress your body's natural killer cells like most other vitamin C supplements do. And when you purchase your first bottle of our Sunny C 1000, I promise to include scientific data to back it up. And I'll also include a vitamin C dosage chart for you to customize how much is best for you, whether you're fighting off a cold or flu or you want a preventative dose to keep you from getting a cold or flu. Sunny C 1000. It's easy on the stomach, and it's essential in fighting illness. And when you order your Sunny C 1000 today, be sure to get more information on the rest of our winter survival kit. Call 800-794-1855. It's our Health Quest Radio hotline. And be sure to listen to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11. But for now, that number again, 800-794-1855. AM 560, The Answer.
Got a text message. Amy, you're overreacting as usual. And then another text message saying, Bruce, you're right on.
Yeah, of course,
Way to
I'll
go,
take the
Bruce.
opposite. I'll take the opposite position this segment.
Yeah, okay. Let's go
I'm just a contrarian.
Let's go to Craig, who joins us from Mount Greenwood. Good morning, Craig.
Yeah, hello,
Yeah,
Amy.
hello. Hi.
And I guess it's Dan.
Bruce.
We're the same.
Can you hear me?
Dan and I
we
are
can hear
related.
you, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I don't agree with all these different things that Trump might be doing necessarily, but I can tell why he may be doing these things. He can't trust these advisors and people around him. This is too much establishment people. All business as usual. That's why nothing happened with the wall. They all talking about helping him and being alongside of him. Nah, they didn't help him do anything. The same thing with the health care. It was all talk. Trump was ready, willing, able. They were right there to do it. It's the advisors around him, the people. They just want to keep it business
They're
as usual.
part of the
same old
establishment,
thing.
Craig. They're the best and the brightest. The Harvard.
He has nobody around him right now.
You remember Robert McNamara? Remember the best and the brightest and all the people who advised us about Vietnam back in the day, and LBJ listened to them because he was just a Texas, idiot, and he wanted, I got these Harvard guys around me. Now Trump is saying, why should I listen to these guys?
No, Trump respects General Flynn. I know that he does. In his tweet, he had said that. But President Trump is not listening to men who have put their lives on the line, who have been on the battlefield. He served 40 years. He's a 4-star general.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
You don't think that he's smarter about foreign policy and military personnel locations than President Trump is?
Why do we have a commander-in-chief? He's supposed to
He
get
avoided
information
the draft.
from.
I mean, please. Don't even start.
Bill Clinton was the president of the United States too.
Right, but he listened to his advisors.
What do you mean he listened?
Vince and Waukegan, you're on Chicago.
Hey, guys.
Answer.
I think the real problem here is people seem to forget about the actual troops themselves. We've had more suicides and more cases of PTSD than ever in the history of our military. It's ridiculous how many people are coming back with arms and legs blown off from going to war after war after war. Who's looking at them and looking at their situation? Well, at least Trump is, because all these other guys, they just want to, let's stay in Syria and keep things going there. No, let's stay in Afghanistan.
Vince,
get out of the war and protect our people.
Vince, should we fight any wars? Should we
Yeah,
fight
if
any
it
wars?
really threatens our security, sure.
Well, I mean, what if ISIS reconstitutes itself? And
then go back over there and blow them away like
so
you
we
did in
gotta
the
wait.
first year.
So we gotta wait for till they kill 20,000 people, behead a few of our people on video, and then come back.
I don't think Trump would wait.
So it's
that
like
long.
whack-a-mole. That's what we do. We just wait around. See, I don't know. I'm at 6s and
Thanks,
7s
Vince,
about
for the
this.
phone
Thanks,
call.
Vince.
Let's go to Bruno. Brew, who joins us from
Yeah,
Naperville.
hello. So listening to Leon Panetta there talking about how Trump doesn't listen to his advisors. Well, we've had all sorts of presidents listen to their advisors. We had McNamara, and like you said, in his gang, got us into Vietnam. We had Reagan taking us into Lebanon. We had Gulf War I, Gulf War II. We decided that Gaddafi was a guy we had to get rid of. So now we have ISIS or Al-Qaeda in Libya. The fact of the matter is these so-called experts don't know what the heck they're doing. And I kind of think that there's a war party out there that runs our government that makes a lot of money off of wars. I can't help but believe that.
Yeah, but you know what?
Otherwise, what I see doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but Bruno, I mean, you're casting aspersions. You're just saying they're doing it because they're getting some money, they're subsidized or whatever. I mean, at some point you do have to fight wars, and you do have to have certain police actions. You do. So it's not that simple.
Do we have to police the world? That's what
No, you don't have to police the world, but you have to. But if you let something fester, then you're going to be in trouble.
Everybody hates us until they need us when they have a natural disaster.
Damn Frenchies.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the real Home Alone story, Bruce. And the most mispronounced words of 2018. And I want to be in charge of that because I mispronounce words on a daily basis. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. Good morning, everyone. A partial government shutdown could begin at midnight after the House approved a spending bill that includes over $5 billion for President Trump's border wall. All 49 Democrats in the Senate promised to vote against funding the wall. Funding bills need 60 votes to pass in the Senate. Republicans there hold 51. President Trump put his signature on a sweeping farm bill. The president touting new federal rules for those who receive food stamps.
Under this new rule, able-bodied adults without dependents will have to work or look for work in order to receive their food stamps.
The $867 billion farm bill also legalizes production of hemp. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis is retiring. That decision comes a day after the president announced that U.S. troops are pulling out of Syria, a decision Mattis did not fully agree with. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders downplaying the rift.
They agree to disagree at times, but that doesn't mean you can't have a good relationship with somebody.
Mattis's last day will be at the end of February. Top Democrats on Capitol Hill say the president is causing disorder within the country. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer remarking that Congress is ready to pass a bill to fund the government, but the president is vowing now to block that bill. We're following developments this morning in Atlanta after a small plane crashes in a park. 3 are dead. The Commercial Appeal newspaper in Memphis reporting that a business leader from that town, Wei Chen, is one who was killed, an avid flyer who became the first Chinese citizen to fly a single-engine plane around the world. Mourners will be honoring 2 Chicago police officers struck and killed by a Metra train today. Hundreds gathered yesterday in Oak Lawn for the wake of Officer Conrad Gary. Gary and Officer Eddie Marmoleo were killed Monday night on the south side. Marmoleo's wake is scheduled for later today, while Gary's funeral services will be held this morning at the St. Rita of Cassia Shrine Chapel in Chicago. One man is dead following a 4-vehicle crash on the Kennedy Expressway. State police say the accident happened last night in the outbound lanes near Ogden Avenue. Investigators in Morris are hoping new DNA testing will help them solve an old cold case. Grundy County coroner this week exhumed the body of an unidentified woman found dead in the county in 1976. Coroners hoping new DNA testing will help identify that woman. It's one of the better law enforcement puns of 2018. Police in Peoria say they used a stakeout to catch the city's notorious beef thief. Authorities say 50-year-old Michael, did you get that? Michael Merriman stole about $3,000 worth of meat from local Kroger stores over the past couple of months. Peoria police say that includes a shoplifting trip last weekend where Merriman got away with $200 worth of chicken ribs and pork. Officers arrested Merriman Wednesday night after spotting him at his wife's house. Patrick Kane scored twice to help the Blackhawks beat the Stars 5-2 in Dallas. Bulls welcome the Magic tonight. And the news is a service of Peloton. Perfect gift for them and you, with live cycling classes streaming to your home every day, featuring real-time motivation from world-class instructors. Peloton is the perfect gift this season and any season. Just go to onepeloton.com or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oakbrook Center, and Westfield, Old Orchard. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And if you're a small business owner or you make the marketing or advertising decisions for a business, then listen up.
Once again, our annual Food for the Poor campaign is underway to raise money for children suffering from poverty in Haiti. We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year.
And here's how your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor business benefactor. Just make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor. And AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's 847-472-8951. One more time. 847-472-8951.
Hugs at the arrival gate.
Hey, I missed you so much.
Seeing your best bud for the first time in a long time. Family and friends around the table. At Lincoln, we know the holidays are filled with moments like these. When we realize that the greatest wish of all is one that brings us together. In that spirit, we invite you into our home during the Lincoln Wishlist event, where not coincidentally, we're making wishes come true with exceptional offers on the Lincoln family of luxury vehicles. The Lincoln Continental, the MKZ, the MKC, the new Nautilus, and the iconic Navigator. The Lincoln Wishlist event, because wishes really do come true at your Lincoln dealer.
If you're not pleased with your child's progress this school year, now's the time to consider enrolling your son or daughter in St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. With an ongoing enrollment program, it's never too late. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual, and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. Find out more about St. John's Northwestern Military Academy ongoing enrollment. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
5:38. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
We're seeing delays on the Chicago Skyway westbound with rain from State Street to the inbound Ryan. There's a crash on the ramp from the Skyway to the inbound Ryan. Ryan itself, traffic is heavy. Approaching downtown, Roosevelt to Burns Circle, 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound the same, it's heavy 87th to 95th. Roadwork, 3 left lanes. I-57 okay, speeds are reduced a bit from rain. Bishop Ford inbound, 2 or 3 minute delay, Cottage Grove to the merge. Edens, Kennedy, looking fine. Eisenhower as well. Inbound Stevenson. Heavy Pulaski to Kedzie and Ashland with Ryan. 37 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Northbound Tri-State has been tight from Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are okay. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, cloudy, breezy, colder today. 36, breezy and patchy clouds, 24 for an overnight low, and clouds and sun tomorrow, high 39. Currently, light rain falling across the area, 35. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
You know what this is the theme music to?
My family was in the second edition of Home Alone.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, they were filmed as extras at
Oh.
a school my kid was going to. And, of course, they asked me if I wanted to be in it, and me being the egomaniac, the broadcasting egomaniac.
Oh, you demanded a salary?
I wanted a couple of lines and no cut. And I didn't want my part to be cut from the script.
You don't decide that.
Well, right, and they got cut, too. They spent, like, all day being in the audience at something, and their part was never in there, such as it was.
It's all right.
Saps.
Happens. I was in a movie, too, and they said there's a chance. We're still going to pay you, but there's a chance your scene could be completely cut.
Let me guess. They had you
I'm
play
not even
a
done
reporter.
with my sentence. Pardon?
They had you play a reporter, a TV reporter,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
stretch for you.
Is it true that Mark Sheridan was exonerated by this hearing?
After considering the facts of the case, the United States Attorney's Office has decided to drop all charges against Mr. Sheridan. He is consequently free to go.
Mr. Sheridan, how does it feel to be in from the cold?
Righteous. Very righteous.
Deputy, do you have anything to add? Anything to say?
Deputy, do you have anything to add? You must have rehearsed that 4 million times.
Deputy, do you have anything to add?
Yeah.
What was
That
this?
was to Tommy Lee Jones. That was U.S. Marshals. I was asking Tommy Lee Jones.
I thought it was
Yeah.
like Fugitive 4.
No, it was
and it was
Fugitive.
close.
Yes. It was U.S. Marshals. It was the sequel to Fugitive.
Okay, well,
but it
I
wasn't
just
called
knew that
Fugitive
it
2. It was U.S. And I highly recommend everyone see that this week when you're off from school. Show it to the kiddies. It's a fun movie.
See,
All right?
I would have demanded Tommy Lee Jones scene in The Fugitive. I want to do it. To check every hen house, outhouse, farmhouse. I want to do that scene. Otherwise, I'm not getting involved.
Well, you did get yourself involved because yesterday I asked you to tell me about, you kept saying, oh, there's a Home Alone story where a mom left her kids home alone and the cops came over and they were watching.
Home Alone.
Right.
It's a meta news story.
Yeah, but you didn't give us or deliver the details to this.
Who
because
cares
because
about the details?
I care, and everybody should care because this poor mom, single mom.
Where's she from?
Muncie, Indiana.
Do we cover Muncie?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, really?
Okay. And because of the interweb, we cover the world. Right. You can find us on our app, our am560.com web thing, app thing. And you can watch us from wherever you are, Bruce.
Okay.
But so she has a 7-year-old son and his 4-year-old brother. The 4-year-old brother was sick, so she made the 7-year-old son stay home from school and watch him, take care of him while she went to work. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. And so they were watching Home Alone while they were home alone. And the cops came to the house, and they wouldn't answer the door.
Amy, let me tell you,
they wouldn't answer the door because they thought the cops were posers, and because they were at the part in the movie where the bad guys came to the door, and so they weren't sure.
That's neat.
And so then he called his aunt and said, what should I do? And then the aunt came over. The mom was arrested, though, and charged, and she's in jail. And I think that that's ridiculous. I think the Christmas spirit, that we should let that one go. Teach her a little lesson, like this is bad, but, let her off.
You know what?
Release her from jail. It's ridiculous.
Right. I agree with you. I wanted this to be like a throwaway line, just basically that somebody left their kids home alone to watch Home Alone. Let's move on to something else.
Oh.
But you gave a salient detail.
Well, because we accused her of going to the bar to get her drink on and maybe doing drugs. And no, she wasn't. She was working at the, I just had it here.
No, that's irrelevant.
The Youth Opportunity Center in Muncie.
Well, that's
and she
ironic.
Left the boys home.
She's helping youth while she ignores her own youth at home. What's the matter with these people nowadays? These mothers who go off to work and then ignore their kids at home.
Oh.
Should women be in the workplace? Your calls now. 591-JOCK, 591-DROL. What is our number?
She's facing a charge of neglect of a dependent. And the mom told police she tried to get a babysitter, but instead had to settle for her 7-year-old son watching, being at home with a little kid watching the movie.
That's the latest Muncie news. Now for Valparaiso.
Oh, and also something else that we messed up yesterday. It was young Justin Kosick's birthday.
Who is Justin Kosick?
Oh, my God. He is our technical director, Christmas sweater wearer.
Yes, and a different
Play your
one every
birthday
day.
song, Justin. Let's go.
Yeah.
He is 20. Well, Justin, what did you do for your birthday? Because you completely didn't tell us it was your birthday.
Nothing big at all.
Yeah, but when you're 23, it's a big deal that it's your birthday.
23, no.
23 is a prime number. Michael Jordan wore 23. We're talking Ryan Sandberg. We're talking Robin Ventura.
So what did you do for your birthday?
We just went out to dinner. I just went out with family and just relaxed, kept it low key. Because 23, there's nothing big.
Do you ever feel cheated that your birthday's near Christmas?
Always.
Come on, let's talk about it.
My whole life.
Really? Did they combine it and
all the
argue?
combo gifts I got, all the excuses.
And did they say that, oh, no, this is a bigger gift, and
because it's your birthday.
I can see right through that, though. I know the prices.
Yeah.
There's iPhones, so you can type in that, see what they spent. Yeah, combo gift.
Wait, did you get an iPhone for a birthday ever?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had to buy my own iPhone.
Well, what about, so last night, did you get any gifts? Or did your family stiff you and said, we'll wait for Christmas?
No, they've been really good about getting me gifts. They got me a really cool watch, but I'm not much of a watch wearer, so it's more of a dress.
Oh.
Right. Who wears a watch anymore? You got an iPhone.
Exactly.
Nobody needs a watch.
All right, well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you for not making a big deal about it.
Yeah, I guess
Remind us next year, because we'll be back here. There's no question about it. For the 27th annual Amy and Bruce, we got a vacation.
But here's the deal. So at 8:35, you're not going to want to miss this, folks. We have a song that we haven't even really practiced. No.
But everybody has sung it throughout their lives. We've all seen the movie over and over and over again.
And we want to thank people because people have reached out on Facebook and on Twitter with song suggestions.
Really?
Oh, yeah, by the
theme
thousands.
to Die Hard, because that's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be singing something after we practice it shortly.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Some job boards make you sort through tons of the wrong resumes, which makes finding a great candidate like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's not smart. The smart way? ZipRecruiter. They actively find and invite qualified candidates to apply. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack. ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Protecting data across modern decentralized networks presents challenges that traditional backup solutions can't handle. At best, you'll waste time and money managing multiple solutions. At worst, gaps in coverage will leave your data vulnerable. Barracuda Backup is a single cloud-integrated solution that simplifies the backup process and allows data replication to anywhere on your network, a private cloud, Barracuda's cloud, or to the AWS public cloud. Reclaim your data. Try Barracuda Backup free at barracuda.com/backup.
I have the perfect Christmas or any other occasion gift for just about everybody on your list. I suggest the MyPillow Holiday 4-pack offer. You can get 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium MyPillow. Think about that for a second. You can give 1, 2, 3, or even 4 gifts, all for the price of 1. Or if you still don't have a MyPillow for yourself, keep 1 and gift the rest. And the money-back offer is extended through March 1st. Not only that, but you can still get 30% off everything, including the MyPillow mattress topper and pet beds that you've heard me rave about. Just be sure to use the promo code Amy to get the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and the 30% discount on everything else, including mattress toppers and pet beds. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, said, "The essence of investment management is the management of risk, not returns." Hi, this is Joe Lopresti, president of Arlington Capital Management. I'm here to explain how we help manage our clients' exposure to risk. We're the creators of our proprietary proactive asset allocation strategy, known as PAS. It is designed to analyze important market trends and alert us to potential changes in the market. But that's only part of what I believe makes Arlington Capital Management unique. It's the care and personalized service we provide our clients that really defines us. We understand how important your financial goals are to you and your family, and we never take that responsibility lightly. It all starts by understanding the things that are most important to you. It's part of the Arlington Capital Management difference. To experience it for yourself, schedule your complimentary consultation by calling 855-471-5796. That's 855-471-5796, or visit arlington-capital.com.
Welcome to A Dash of Salt, where we debunk myths and shake up what you think you know about salt. Myth number 1 comes from KDP.
Salt is bad for everyone on the planet, and no one even needs it, because, I read that on a blog.
Okay, let's shake it up. Here's the truth. Everyone needs salt. Like we need water, salt is essential to human life. It can help keep our muscles strong and brain running smoothly. In fact, it's actually one of the nutrients that makes every cell in your body function. And that's pretty important, right, Katie?
I guess.
Everything's better with a little salt. Find out more at alittlesalt.org.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Well, now you can have a large portion of your credit card debt forgiven. Call Get Relief today and get free information that shows you how to lower your monthly payment and get debt forgiveness. This program is proven to work for credit card debt and medical bills. Discover the secret to this money-saving program absolutely free. Call now, 800-207-8558. 800-207-8558. That's 800-207-8558.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Lots of people would have told you to abort that baby. You didn't do that. I know that was hard. I want you to know that no matter what, I know that you always did the best you knew how to do, and look how it turned out. Those are the touching words Oprah Winfrey used to say goodbye to her mother, who passed away on Thanksgiving Day this year. Look how it turned out indeed. Vernita Lee's daughter is now a billionaire, instantly identified the world over by the mere utterance of her first name. Oprah may not preach what her mom practiced, but thankfully more Americans are choosing Vernita Lee's example over her daughter's. In the last decade, abortions in the United States have declined 25%, according to the CDC. Even as secular humanism has poisoned so many American institutions, sacred and civic, prayer warriors, Planned Parenthood defectors, and the pregnancy centers who tend to families in crisis are winning hearts and minds. As we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, we should also celebrate that the culture of life is beating back cultural Marxism.
AM 560.
The answer.
All right, bear with me. But Evan Brown, don't start with me. He's the Chicagoan who was firing the shots near the embankment and then ran up onto the tracks, and the 2 police officers were killed from behind. It was just awful.
That we keep talking about.
I know, and I know you don't want to talk about it on anymore. I got it.
What's your fascination with the police and everything? I mean,
because I really respect police officers, and they do a job that I don't know, frankly, if I could do. I would love to be a detective, but not a foot patrol officer.
I wanted to grow up to be a policeman and a fireman too.
What did you watch? Starsky and Hutch or Adam 41?
I was already, a senior citizen when Starsky and Hutch were on. But I want,
Well, what did you watch?
Every little boy wanted to become a fireman or a policeman, and I get it. But can we move on from this story?
No,
Amy?
because we're learning more. All right, so this is the guy Edward Brown was in court yesterday, so we're learning more about what happened. So he's a chef. He's in chef school, culinary school. That's what you call it.
Yes.
And was driving home and had to relieve himself. So gets out near that intersection.
So he's not even a gangbanger or anything like that. He's a normal Joe Q
and he's
public.
relieving himself, taking a what.
As
and
everybody
he
does.
Looks down, and there's a gun and some ammo. So I thought, oh, okay. So he just finds this gun, not his, puts ammo in it, and starts shooting at the embankment, at the berm, so to speak.
Right. Could have hurt himself.
And the train tracks has a shots being fired sensor, believe it or not. And that's what notified
the police.
So then he sees them coming and runs over the metro track and.
Wait, why would a chef run away from the police?
Because he had somewhere to cook? No, I don't know.
I mean, why would he run away from the cops?
Because I don't know why he did that.
Now
they
you
didn't
care
get to
about.
that.
Let's get him on the line.
So, we can't because he's in jail. Jail, not prison, not prison, but jail. Bond set at $200,000. That means he has to come up
Let's do a GoFundMe for him right now.
He now has to come up with $20,000 to get out.
Who's got $20,000 if you're going to chef school? You got all the loans for the chef school.
His family was in court yesterday. They did not react. They, kind of hid their heads when they were walking out of court. But here is his defense attorney.
The chain of events that set off for these brave, heroic officers to lose their life, it's just unfathomable.
And he says his client feels awful, just sick about what happened and never meant for them to lose their lives.
Not.
Here's a Cook County Assistant State's Attorney Guy Lizuzzo.
The defendant observed the officer's SUV and ran back up the embankment to the train tracks. The defendant then ran southbound. The defendant then ran east across the tracks and across the front of a Metro train as it pulled into the station that was on the third set of tracks from the west and was headed north.
And what's the story? Look, I can give you a citation, not a criminal law citation, but a civil law citation, which might be instructive here as long as you got us into this. You open the door. The case is called Palsgraf versus Long Island Railroad. It is a seminal case in tort law. Justice Cardozo, writing for the majority. Are you listening to me?
No, I'm reading about the shot spot.
Well,
the shot spotter sensor that's on train tracks that I never knew about.
It's all a question of foreseeability.
Okay,
if you could foresee that you would cause this accident, and it was all about a train case, Palsgraf versus Long Island Railroad, and it was a Rube Goldberg chain of events which led to somebody being injured, and could you blame the initial person? The answer was it wasn't foreseeable. However, Justice Andrews, in his minority opinion, said it all follows. Everything causes everything. So but we don't subscribe to the Justice Andrews
Brown
vision.
found the pistol in a fanny pack. It was a .30 caliber pistol and the ammunition, and the gun's owner, because it said that the weapon was misplaced while taking out the garbage.
It's the gun owner's fault.
Exactly.
It's the gun owner who should be in jail now and pay for this kid's chef.
Will there be any litigation facing him because he is the gun owner and he should be protecting that?
Everybody should be sued. A class action against everybody.
I mean, serious. Because the kid, they said the kid's a great kid. He's always lived with his mom, has no criminal history, went to school.
How old is
the
he?
sad thing,
How
but
old
that's
is the kid who lives with his mom? Because he could become a congressman if he lives with his mom. My congressman lives with her mom.
He's 24 years old.
Oh, he's got to get up to be about 32
years old.
Yeah,
and neighbor said it's a sad thing, but it's not his fault. He feels awful. He was out.
Of course he does.
On the ground. He wasn't on the tracks. He was directly behind his house out there testing out that pistol.
Yeah.
So many people are really hurt by this. Said a neighbor, I don't know what went on in his head that day, but he's a good young man. The women who raised those boys are fine men, and they feel awful.
Yes.
So funerals
So
are today.
When I come back after January 1st,
Yeah.
I'm going to be back on with you January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Let's not turn people away now, shall we?
Are we going to still be talking about this?
Oh, yeah. We'll
Okay.
always be talking about this.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
It's like my family. I never go anywhere else than Joe Cotton Ford. If I have to buy a car, I always go first Joe Cotton Ford. And they have best service ever, and the best price, and the best models.
My overall experience is great. It's easy to buy, it's easy to go through service, and overall, it's just a great experience.
More reasons why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Joe Cotton Ford wishes you the happiest holidays ever and gives you the gift of 0% for 72 months on many of Ford's most popular vehicles for qualified buyers. And get the biggest rebates of the year on all remaining 2018 models at Joe Cotton Ford. No hype and no pressure. It's why generations of customers keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today. 0% for 72 months is only for a limited time. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
'Tis the season for giving, and we want to thank our brand new business benefactors. Are you ready? Ditch Witch Midwest. They made a $5,000 donation to our Food for the Poor campaign. Latoria Brothers Construction in Wooddale. Central Sod in Plainfield. You know, the Craft Tree Care. I mean, the list goes on. And we want to thank everyone who has become a business benefactor. Welcome to the family. And that $2,500 tax-deductible donation, all of it goes to Food for the Poor. And as a way of saying thank you, we give you 40 60-second commercials that air right here on AM 560. Who do they call, Bruce, to become a business benefactor?
Who do you call? I'll tell you who you call. You call Anjanette Netkowski directly at 847-472-8951, 847-472-8951, and ask for the Business Benefactor Program.
All right, and we thank you in advance for your generosity. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, why the change of heart, President Trump? And we'll have a total for you on that GoFundMe page for the border wall. We'll get the latest from Diamond and Silk when they join us at 6:06. But right now, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, here are the stories we're following this morning. Mourners honoring 2 CPD officers killed by a Metro train today. Bears playoff tickets sell out fast. 6 are seriously hurt in a far south side fire. Illinois' governor signs a new school construction law, and the Blackhawks top the Stars while the Bulls host the Magic. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
The House does what the Senate won't. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
On this vote, the A's are 217 and the nays are 185.
Approving a spending bill that gives President Trump what he demands, more than $5 billion in funding for a border wall. And the president just tweeted House Republicans did great. And if Democrats in the Senate don't go along, it'll trigger what he calls a Democrat shutdown of the government. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, as the clock ticks on that midnight deadline, the spending bill now heads to the Senate, where it faces an uncertain future. 60 votes are needed to break a filibuster, and that would require help from Democrats. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer pointing the finger at President Trump.
He said in front of us he'd be proud to shut down the government. It is nothing to be proud of.
Republican Congressman Jim Jordan, a member of the House Freedom Caucus, pressed for the border wall money.
This is our last best chance to do what everyone knows is just good common sense.
Without resolution, more than 800,000 federal workers will be facing furloughs or forced to work without pay. Dave.
Rachel, Jim Mattis is on his way out as defense secretary, writing a letter of resignation telling President Trump that he has the right to have a defense secretary whose views are better aligned with his.
I think it was the sort of case where, the president at the very beginning was all about Jim Mattis, calling him Mad Dog, calling him one of my generals. But I think in recent months, there's been a little bit of a parting of ways on a number of issues. And the president seemed to indicate that Mattis might not be hanging around for too much longer. So now we learn that at the end of February, He's going to be departing the Pentagon.
That's Fox's John Roberts at the White House. Mattis's announced departure comes after the president announced he'll pull all U.S. troops out of Syria, which upset some of his fellow Republicans in Congress. And the president wants to withdraw up to 7,000 American troops from Afghanistan next year. This is Fox News.
Skies are gray. We've had light rain showers through the overnight. 35 degrees at 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 3 children and 3 adults are in serious condition this morning. It follows a blaze on Chicago's far south side. Chicago Fire tells us the fire broke out in a home near 118th and Michigan Avenue. The children were rushed to Comer Children's Hospital, while the adults were transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center. Bail is set at $200,000 this morning for the man accused of firing a gun and setting off the chain of events that led to the deaths of 2 Chicago police officers who were walking along Metra tracks. Edward Brown is now charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Mourners lined up for hours to honor Chicago police officers struck and killed by that Metra train. Family friend Gene Hughey was one of hundreds who gathered yesterday in Oak Lawn for the wake of Officer Conrad Gary.
You're happy that people are honoring him, but at the same time, it's not the way you want him.
Gary and Officer Eddie Marmoleo were killed Monday night on the south side. Marmoleo's wake is scheduled for the Blake Lamb Funeral Home today, while Gary's funeral services will be held this morning at St. Rita. 1 man is dead following a 4-vehicle crash on the Kennedy Expressway. It happened near Ogden Avenue in the outbound lanes. Police say a Chicago man faces a felony charge after threatening to blow up a Greyhound bus alongside a Chicago expressway. Illinois State Police say 22-year-old DeAndre White was arrested and charged with making a false bomb threat. Investigators in Morris are hoping new DNA testing will help them crack an old cold case. Grundy County coroner this week exhumed the body of an unidentified woman who was found dead in the county in 1976. A section of that long-awaited Navy Pier flyover is finally open. Mayor Emanuel opening a portion of the flyover that will carry pedestrians and bicyclists over Grand Avenue in Illinois. Work continues on the $64 million project. Blackhawks over the Stars, 5-2 in Dallas. College hoops, Notre Dame beat Jacksonville. Western Illinois topped Chicago State. And Northern Illinois lost to Northern Kentucky. The news, a service of Peloton, the perfect gift for them and you. With live cycling classes streaming to your home every day, featuring real-time motivation from world-class instructors, Peloton is the perfect gift this season and any season. Just go to onepeloton.com or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oakbrook Center, and Westfield, Old Orchard. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity applauds the president's stance on trade.
We have had horrible one-sided deals with everybody. That includes NATO, 72 cents of every dollar. That includes even our European allies and friends, supposedly. They have one-sided trade deals. Mexico, NAFTA, Canada, now China. So we're making huge progress.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
What a year. Your home improvement to-do list still isn't done. But hey, at least you still have time to get the Ford vehicle you've always wanted. Just get to the final days of our holiday sales event. Stop by your local Ford dealer today. It's where you'll find our best offers of the season on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. So, see you sometime between now and January 2nd. Ford. Built for the holidays. And now for a limited time, you can bring home a new F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months, only at your Ford dealer. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $13.89 per month per $1,000 finance, regardless of down payment, is available on 18 model year F-150, excludes Raptor. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 1/2/19. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for qualifications and complete details.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
It's like my family. I never go anywhere else than Joe Cotton Ford. If I have to buy a car, I always go first Joe Cotton Ford. And they have best service ever, and the best price, and the best models.
My overall experience is great. It's easy to buy, it's easy to go through service, and overall, it's just a great experience.
More reasons why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Joe Cotton Ford wishes you the happiest holidays ever and gives you the gift of 0% for 72 months on many of Ford's most popular vehicles for qualified buyers. And get the biggest rebates of the year on all remaining 2018 models at Joe Cotton Ford. No hype and no pressure. It's why generations of customers keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today. 0% for 72 months is only for a limited time. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
Pros in the know start with Lowe's and save 5% on eligible purchases every day made with a Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% savings in-store and online. Subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
6:07. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Traffic is heavy early on the Bishop Ford Freeway this morning with delays from the Steel Bridge to 130th and Stony Island feeder to the Ryan. It's 30 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Inbound I-57, 1 or 2 minute delay from Holstead to the Ryan. Inbound Ryan, it's slow going from the merge to 71st. To Stevenson to the Burn Circle, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 16 with some road work wrapping up at 87th and Split. Eastbound Eden Spur, traffic's tight from Tri-State to Waukegan Road. Eden's itself, delay-free, but speeds are reduced with the wet conditions. Kennedy, 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 20. Mount Ike, 36 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 42 minutes, 355 to the drive. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next, and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder. The high today, 36. Breezy this evening, otherwise patchy clouds, low 24. Intervals of clouds and sun tomorrow, high 39. Flurries on Sunday morning, then periods of sunshine for the day, high at 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
35 and light rain showers at O'Hare. Next news, 6:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, my God. I just saw this picture of Michelle Obama on Twitter.
What? Oh, the one where she's wearing the yellow dress and the... what are those? The sparkly leggings?
Yeah, it looks like tattoos or whatever. But
yeah, I thought, you know what? At first when I saw it, I thought she had tattooed her legs, but...
No, but I mean...
Ugh.
No, you talk about the Empress in the new clothes.
Okay.
Nobody is willing to tell her.
Well, somebody
that
should
she
tell her.
doesn't look good.
Somebody shouldn't even sell that. Not only to her, that shouldn't be sold to anybody,
You can't
regardless
tell her
if you're a
anything.
former first lady.
I mean, you think Trump, doesn't listen to his advisors? This is somebody who doesn't have her best interests at
She's
heart.
expressing herself. I'll never forget. I mean, she's from here, so we've seen her. The past 20 years of our lives. And she's always been, a classy dresser, I thought. When she went her first trip to Martha's Vineyard, as soon as he took the presidency, she got off Air Force One. Her hair was a mess. It was not good. And that's when I said, girlfriend needs somebody's got to help her, because you cannot be the first lady and wear cut-off jean shorts. And, she kind of had jorts on. And then she improved. And when she was beautiful, I think she's stunning, Michelle Obama. And I know Dan always makes fun of me. He's like, oh, yeah, she's gorgeous. But she's made some fashion faux pas.
Colored glasses.
No, she went to Italy and she went into a church with her shoulder exposed. You don't do that there. When you're in their country, you follow their rules. You have got to have your shoulders covered.
You have your
and
shoulders
especially
covered.
If you're at the Vatican.
You
and
do not shave
show
your
knees.
armpits, and you don't wear deodorant. Yes.
Stop.
Right.
But Diamond and Silk are not here to talk about that.
Diamond and
Silk are here. They are Fox Nation hosts and stars of the new documentary Dummycrats. Good morning, ladies. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So, what are you making of all of this crazy things with President Trump changing his mind on the border wall and, about General Mattis retiring?
Well, look, I don't think he changed his mind on the border wall. We need border security. He's asking for $5 billion. So hopefully the Senate will pass that today. If not, Mitch McConnell needs to use the nuclear option.
That's right.
We really thank Madison for his service. It's time to move on.
That's right.
The deal is, I do believe that we do need to pull our soldiers out of some of these areas that we've been bogged down in for the past 17 years. We've spent trillions and trillions of dollars. We have a deficit to pay down, and that money can go towards that, and some of that money can go towards our border wall.
Well, let's talk about the border wall. I mean, you have this GoFundMe page now where they're, up to $10.9 million. So the American people want this wall, but President Trump has flip-flopped in the past 24 hours, saying he'd signed this continued resolution. And now, because of Rush Limbaugh and Coulter and other conservatives, he has flip-flopped on that. He has changed his mind. So what do you think?
Well, first of all, if you feel like he's changed his mind, then he has a right to change his mind. The American people want security, and it is up to Congress to give him the money to fund the wall so that we won't keep going back and forth. If Congress can spend money on slush funds, Congress can fund the wall. If Congress can take and give money to sanctuary cities and they can fund illegal aliens, then they can fund the wall. And that's what we expect for them to do. We expect for them to do their job because they're using our taxpayers. And you know what I find really appalling is that a veteran, an amputee veteran who went to war, fought, have to come back and start a GoFundMe so that we can have a wall built, all because Congress don't want to do their job.
That's right.
What's so sad. I commend that veteran for doing that. I don't know if the government could use that money because I don't think that the government can take private donations like that. But what I'm saying is that we the people want a wall. We the people want security.
That's right.
It's time for Congress to act.
Amen. Well, here's the problem. If you build a wall, you're going to keep all those Democrats, future Democrats, from coming into the country.
Oh, well,
that's
then if they come in, they will come in the right way. They will get in line and wait their turn and do it the correct way. Listen, Americans cannot commit crimes. When we commit crimes, they lock us up. They give us 3 hots a cop behind a locked cell box.
That's right.
What they do, okay? So if we can't commit crimes, we cannot allow people to cross our borders and commit crime. And shame on Congress for building a wall between them and the American people. We want that wall built on the border, not between us. Don't drive a wedge between us and them. They're supposed to work for us. 51% of Americans want a wall.
I understand that.
So it can be built.
It's a symbolic
No, I understand.
thing,
I used to live in El Paso, and I'm actually going to be traveling over the Christmas break to an area between Nogales and Tijuana, crossing that border. And it's going to be interesting to see if they have a border wall there. Of course, I'll tweet it out if they do or if they don't. But during the campaign, President Trump kept saying Mexico is going to pay for it. Well, the Mexicans that I know are not going to pay for something they do not want.
Well, that's the ones you know. You don't know every Mexican. That's the ones you know.
Well, yes, Mexico is going to pay for the wall directly or indirectly. Whenever they come to this particular. When they come to this country, they're going to have to pay fees to come to this country. When somebody continue to break into my house and steal my stuff, and I got to pay money to replace my stuff. But if I get a security system and they break into my house, guess what? That security alarm system is going to go off and it's going to run them away. I got to protect my house, and my security system is going to pay for itself 3 times more. The wall will pay for itself 3 times more. Whenever the Mexicans or whomever wants to come to our country, they have to pay a fee. When we know who's walking amongst us and they're making American dollars, they have to pay a fee to send that money back to their country. So they will pay for the wall directly or indirectly.
But you see, this is a symbolic thing because the Democrats, this is what Trump ran on. This is the blood and guts issue. It's the wall. And this is what gets a guy like Chuck Schumer to come out yesterday and say he's plunging the country into chaos and he's throwing a temper tantrum. The Democrats, have to.
The president, wait just one little minute.
All right.
The president is not plunging the country into chaos. If Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi can be protected behind their walls, then why can't they fund a wall for our borders?
That's
for
right.
U.S. borders.
That's right. And if we can send American troops to other countries to protect other countries' borders and build infrastructure there in their country, trillions of dollars blown and spent, why can't we use that same money to do the same thing and protect our own borders? American citizens are getting killed on a daily basis at the hand of illegal aliens, and nobody seems to care but President Trump. Give him the $5 million that he needs to build a to build a doggone wall, because there's a lot of money being spent to take and fund illegal aliens. We got to pay for their food, their housing, their medical. I would prefer to use my tax dollars to build the wall.
Well, do you think President Trump, those 2,000 troops he's going to pull out of Syria, do you think there was talk that they should go help build the border wall? Would you be in agreement with that?
Listen, I wish that the military will make that their space down there at the border wall.
That's right.
And if an illegal alien cross, you have to go through the military. You cannot. You will be trespassing then.
That's right.
If you come across those borders into military personnel space.
That's right. Make it a 10 or 15-foot easement there along the border, and let the military use that property for training purposes or what have you. Therefore, nobody can trespass. You have to go through the ports of entry.
Right.
All right. So James Mattis, 4-star general, 40 years service to this country, by all accounts, well respected and loved and appreciated, and abruptly resigns yesterday because of President Trump tweeting. That's how he found out. He found out via Twitter that he's going to send 2,000 troops, pulling 2,000 troops out of Syria. Can you blame General Mattis for?
Well, first of all, let me just say this here. A lot of these people have their hands in a cookie jar, and there's no more cookies left.
That's right.
You know what this is, and I don't know why they think that the American people can't see right through this here. Listen, it's time for our soldiers, our young men and women, to come home.
That's right.
Okay, it's time for them to come
home.
Wait,
what are you talking about, cookie jar? Are you saying? Wait, hold on a second. Hey, Diamond, Silk, whichever one you are. Look, and I agree with a lot what you say. I do about a lot of things, but let's not cast. What do you mean in the cookie jar? You think that he's corrupt?
Okay, whoa. I see Lindsey Graham come out on TV, making his little statements. It wouldn't surprise me if some of these people wasn't getting their kickback patty whack.
Oh, come on. Come on. Now you're starting to sound like a tinfoil hat person.
You know, when President Bush sent them over there, Halliburton had their hands in the cookie
my
jar.
God.
That's true.
Making a lot of kickback
Oh, gee whiz.
I believe that. I do. But in this case, Mattis said that, the Kurds, they're our friends, and we cannot leave them alone on the battlefield, and that ISIS is going to return.
We're not leaving anybody alone. What we're saying is that we cannot police the world. We cannot police everybody. We can't be in everybody's affairs, especially with the Iraq, where people have been bogged down for 17, 18 years. We spent trillions and trillions of dollars. Our deficit is high. We can't get the money for the border wall. Why? Maybe if we took those trillions of dollars and bring them back to the USA, maybe we will have the money we need to fund our wall.
Far be it from me to give you advice, because you're way more successful than I am. I mean, I have only 7,000 Twitter followers.
How many do you?
Okay, look, I love you all.
No, but I want to tell you something. You overstate the case. When you start going with the conspiracy stuff, when you start saying that people are on the tank.
I'm not being a conspiracy theory.
Yes, you are.
I got to go,
and
you
I don't.
all. Thank you all.
All right.
Oh, you're leaving?
All right, bye.
What about the holiday song?
They got another.
What did you do? They're friends of the show.
Spaghetti-O.
Diamond and Silk. It was great while we had them, and they joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Sensitive girl.
We now return to
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie capsules contain 100% vine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind. And it is undeniably one of the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water, some a little higher, some a little lower. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to take out the water and air, leaving only whole food, which maintains 99.9% of its original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health. Make sense? To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
I was agreeing with Diamond and Silk on a lot. I just thought they went too far.
Well, we shouldn't talk about Michelle Obama before going to Diamond and Silk.
Coming on.
Well, look at your rundown.
I don't care.
Attention
who's on
deficit
the show.
disorder guy.
Whoever's on the show takes away from my time. Okay. I have the perfect Christmas or any other occasion gift for just about everybody on your list. And put Diamond and Silk on my list, please. I suggest the MyPillow Holiday 4-pack offer. You can get 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows plus free shipping, all for the normal price of 1 premium MyPillow. Think about that for a second. You can give 1, 2, 3, or even 4 gifts, all for the price of 1. Or if you still don't have the MyPillow for yourself, keep 1 and gift the rest. And the money-back offer is extended through March 1st. Not only that, but you can still get 30% off everything else, including the MyPillow mattress topper and pet beds you've heard me rave about. Just be sure to use promo code Amy, because she's raved about it too, to get the MyPillow 4-pack offer with free shipping and 30% discount on everything else, including mattress toppers and pet beds. Visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And don't forget to use the promo code Amy. That's MyPillow.com, promo code Amy.
If you did not purchase health insurance coverage during the 2017 open enrollment, I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time during the year. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. If you are between the ages of 19 and 64, you are automatically paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. If you are a non-smoking 50-year-old male or female living in the city of Chicago, the monthly premium rate for a 100% tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan would be $590 per month. But I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity benefit and lower your monthly premiums down to approximately $240 per month. To see if you qualify or for more information, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
AM 560, The Answer.
The Royal Update. So would you couple sportive tie? Do you like it?
That's very Cockney.
I know, it's pretty bad. I don't think the Brits have.
I don't associate with the Cockneys. I need somebody of
harsh voices.
Upper class.
Well,
like
Meghan Markle, the American princess, Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority sister, Northwestern grad. Well, this is only going to happen once in my lifetime.
You were in her sorority.
She was in my sorority.
I married a Northwestern sorority girl.
Oh, what sorority was your wife in?
SDT, seldom dated twice. Sigma Delta Tau. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Were you in a fraternity?
Me in a fraternity. Are you kidding? I wasn't even in the men off campus. Because you had to chug 22 ounces of beer, and I sip a Blue Moon over the course of 2 weeks.
Well, Meghan Markle is truly living up to her title of the American princess, being that she has compelled her husband, Prince Harry, to put off a 40-year-old Christmas tradition to pull out.
If he had pulled out, she wouldn't be pregnant.
Yeah.
Whoa.
According to the Daily Mail, Prince Harry will be skipping the traditional Boxing Day pheasant shoot with his brother, Prince William, at Sandringham to avoid upsetting his animal-loving wife, Meghan. See, this is the problem. You don't change yourself because of the person that you marry. You stay true to yourself. If he likes to have a 40-year-old Christmas tradition of hunting, he should just hunt with his family and say, you know what, honey, put her in her place. Don't let her wear the pants.
What has happened to the British Empire? I'll tell you. What has happened to the British Empire?
Also, the royal source, a royal source told the Sunday Mirror that Prince William is increasingly growing concerned that Meghan is pulling Harry away from the family. They did move to a different location, so they're not next door neighbors now with their brother-in-law.
She's going to be worse than Diana was for Queen Elizabeth.
No, Diana was fine. Don't you say a bad word about Princess Diana. Not in my presence. But hunting, that goes back to the hunting. Do you think if he kills a deer, he'll have to watch Bambi?
Your mother can't be with you anymore.
The big revelation.
Come. My son.
This week on the show was that Amy found out that Bambi was a son.
Bambi
was a man because you think of Bambi as being like a little girl.
Yeah.
Right?
And Bambi's not a girl.
Whereas Bambi, the boy, should just shake it off. Put some dirt on it.
We had to
get
play that
back in the
because
game.
there was somebody who was hunting a little too much who was sentenced to a year in prison in Missouri and then forced to watch Bambi once a month and see that scene.
See how you
where
tied it all together.
The mom, Bambi's mother, gets killed off screen. You hear the gunshot and then the and then the explanation.
That's with a bump stock, isn't it?
Oh, see? Now we're putting it all together.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
And real quickly, the most Googled person of 2018. Take a guess.
Donald Trump?
No.
Diamond and Silk?
No. Meghan Markle.
Oh, sure.
Of course.
Because it's international.
Right.
She got married, I hear.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Thank you so much for those who have participated in our Food for the Poor campaign. Our goal is to provide food for a year and water for life, clean water for life for 3,000 children in Haiti. Personal donations have been pouring in. We want to acknowledge some of those fine people. We have Alan in Winnetka, Amy in Mundelein, Maryland in Hobart, Indiana, Ben in Rancho Santa Fe, California. Wow. See, you didn't think people were listening all over the country, but they are. JJ in Chicago, Lester in Zion, Chandra in Chesterton, just to name a few. But we also have a great business benefactor program. And that's a way, if you own a company or if you make the marketing decisions for your business, it's a way to take your business to the next level. It's a way to reach like-minded people that listen to AM 560.
I got the list right here. Pardon my Rush Limbaugh, which he got from Larry Lujak, whose the fifth anniversary of his death just passed. Here's how you get it into our business benefactor program.
Thank you.
Any business that makes a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor will receive 40 60-second commercials Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. on AM 560 The Answer. Just call Anjanette Natkowski directly at 847-472-8951. That's 847-472-8951, and ask for the Business Benefactor Program.
We'd like to thank Ditch Witch Midwest. They made a $5,000 donation, so kudos to them. Central Sod in Plainfield, welcome to the family. Pavement Solutions, Bridges Restaurant, Michigan City. The list goes on and on. So again, this won't last forever. So if you're thinking about it, act today. Today's Friday. Get it out of the way before the Christmas week starts. Call Anjanette at 847-472-8951. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, why Facebook is not your friend. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
35 degrees, cloudy skies. We've had some light rain showers. We're following a developing story where a Czech mining company says the death toll in a blast in a coal mine has reached 13 and may go higher. Partial government shutdown could begin at midnight if the Senate rejects the spending bill today. The measure includes money for the president's border wall. All 49 Democrats are opposed to a border wall. They say Republicans hold 51 seats. The bill needs 60. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis is resigning after repeated disagreements with former President Trump over policies, dealings with allies and adversaries, and America's role in keeping the world safe. Former CIA Director John Brennan.
Who now is left to challenge Mr. Trump when he decides to move down some road, whether it be with in Syria, Iran, North Korea, and some of these other areas, China and Russia?
The incoming Mexican president is agreeing to keep the U.S. asylum seekers while their cases are proceeding. The Department of Homeland Security making that announcement this morning. Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen.
Very optimistic. They take human rights very, very seriously. They take protection of migrants very, very seriously. That's why we're calling it the Migrant Protection Plan on our side. So we will work together to make sure that those are abided by.
The move is a big departure from current policy that allows asylum seekers to stay in the U.S. Police in Toledo, Ohio say officers shot and killed a suspect inside police headquarters. Post on the Toledo Police website says all officers are safe and the building is secure. Gatwick Airport in London restarting limited service after a drone shut down the airport all of Thursday. Bigger than usual drones were seen flying near runways at least 50 times. 3 children and 3 adults are in serious condition following a fire on Chicago's far south side. Authorities say the blaze broke out in a home near 118th Street and Michigan Avenue. Bail set at $200,000 for the man accused of firing a gun and setting off a chain of events that led to the deaths of 2 Chicago police officers. Edward Brown is charged with aggravated, unlawful use of a weapon. Mourners continue to line the streets in Oak Lawn, honoring 2 Chicago police officers struck by that Metro train. Hundreds gathered yesterday in Oak Lawn for the wake of Officer Conrad Gary. Gary and Officer Eddie Marmoleo were killed Monday night. Marmoleo's wake is scheduled for later today, while Gary's funeral services will be held this morning at the St. Rita of Cassia Shrine Chapel in Chicago. Illinois schools will have a new option to find substitute teachers in the new year. New law for 2019 from the Chicago Democrat LaShawn Ford and Governor Bruce Rauner allows school districts to work with temp agencies to find qualified subs. And you can save yourself a little time this morning because it's Don't Make Your Bed Day. Holiday, actually, yes, it's a holiday. Started in 2014 after a 5th grader in New Mexico wrote a letter to Congress petitioning for one day a year that didn't involve the chore of making the bed. He said kids were sick and tired of doing it each morning and figured adults were too. Chicago sports, Patrick Kane scored twice. Blackhawks over the Stars, 5-2 in Dallas. The news, a service of Lowe's. Lowe's is closing their Portage, Indiana store, located in the 6200 block of U.S. Highway 6. Hurry in for huge deals on appliances, tools, flooring, holiday decor, and more. This location is closing, but they're still here to serve you at nearby locations and online at Lowes.com while supplies last. See store for details. 6:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
As we prepare to celebrate Christmas this year, AM 560, The Answer, wants to give a gift to you. The gift of Christmas music. From the morning of Christmas Eve all the way through Christmas Day.
I'm Dusty Rhodes with a warm winter's welcome to our annual holiday presentation. Again this year, the tradition continues.
Non-stop Christmas music. Right here on AM 560. From traditional favorites to hits from today. Our gift to you here on AM 560. Brought to you by Balance of Nature and by Wealth Management Group.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
Oh, no colds, no flu, lots of energy, just overall well-being. It's just if I stop taking it, I see the difference. You know, I would never stop with these. I would keep them on hand always.
Well, I got more energy for sure. I don't feel the same if I don't take this every day. I think it's improved my life greatly because I was feeling real sluggish before, sluggish and tired. I had like this brain fog. It's all gone now. I've been taking this stuff and I feel like I have the energy of an 18-year-old with the looks of a 30-year-old, and I'm 50. It's crazy. This stuff is crazy. I love it.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Looking to refinance your home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Sally's heard hundreds of Team Hochberg's ads, so naturally she called the nation's largest online lender, obsessed with their Rocket, because she saw their ad pumping gas. Bad move. The Rocket-loving lender quoted Sally a rate higher than us, and closing costs $6,000 more than Team Hochberg's. We explained the exorbitant closing costs and refinanced Sally into a lower rate and credited all of her closing costs. Team Hochberg doesn't have a Rocket, but we have lower rates and substantially lower closing costs than the nation's largest online Rocket-loving lender. You could call the nation's largest online lender who spends millions promoting their Rocket by charging excessive closing costs, or you could call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
6:37 in Chicago. Let's get an update on the morning roads and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Inbound Aiden's traffic is heavy Cicero to Montrose. It's 21 minutes Lake Cook Junction, outbound 19. Inbound Kennedy, scattered delays start at Canfield. It's 28 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 22. On Eisenhower, slow Manheim to Harlem, California to the Burn Circle. 40 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. Inbound Stevenson, you get 44 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 35. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown, I-57. 19 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford 30. Northbound Tri-State delays are from 95th to the 83rd Street toll, from Reagan toll to past the Eisenhower. Lakeshore Drive is heavy northbound from past the Stevens to Soldier Field. There's a stall blocking a lane. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 hour heating and air conditioning weather center, cloudy, breezy, colder, high 36. Breezy this evening, otherwise patchy clouds, 24 for a low temp. Currently 35. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning and welcome back to AM 560, The Answer. Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf sitting in for Dan Proft. Hi. Thanks for coming to work today. It's been an exciting week. We've had a lot of news this week.
Way too much news.
A lot. And we're going to get to it all at the top of the 7 at 7:07. We are going to have Colonel Cedric Layton on to talk about the surprise resigning or quitting of General James Mattis and who will be next as our Secretary of Defense. But we want to do a little year in review and how some people have stepped in it and somehow some companies haven't done right by their customers. Facebook, I don't know if you heard, they're not your friend, Bruce. They sold your information to 150 different companies, but they said that they got our consent because we clicked some button. But nobody can find out what button that we clicked to give them consent to sell our information to Amazon and other companies.
Remember when Sheryl Sandberg was telling us girls to lean in, and she was like the she was the illustration, the example of the best woman you could possibly be, achieving, and it turns out she's so corrupt and such a Machiavellian, terrible woman.
Terrible one, yeah.
Yes.
But what happens?
She needs the help of Lissa Druss.
Well, that's
remedy
why
her reputation.
We welcome our next guest to the program, Lissa Druss, Chief President, CEO of Strategia Consulting, formerly of Serafin and Associates. But they work with companies and people who are in crisis. And we've had a lot this year. We've had Roseanne Barr. We've had Volkswagen. We've had Southwest. So let's start with Southwest. And what exactly, remind us, what happened with Southwest?
Well, good morning. Obviously, there was a tragic accident with the passenger, but that turned into an incident where there was a fallout between management and mechanics, because mechanics then were alleging that the airline was putting speed before safety. So that ended up for Southwest costing them tens of millions of dollars in the negative publicity that came out of that from that spout.
How do you quantify the cost in publicity? I mean,
stock prices.
Yeah, stock prices.
Stock prices.
Okay.
Stock prices.
Because they have a great reputation of being one of the safest airlines. And you know, one of the reasons why? The mechanics only work on one plane. They only have one type of aircraft, and that is a 737.
Okay. But if you go back to Volkswagen a couple of years ago and their emissions scandal, at one point Volkswagen lost 40% of their stock value because they just kept covering up and covering up and covering up. And 99% of the time, it's always the apology that came too late. And someone then will obviously be a sacrificial lamb, or a chief executive or a CEO will resign. And then after that comes the fallout of, okay, how do we remedy this? How do we apologize? How do we make it right by our customers? How do we make it right by our public image? And all the time, unfortunately, when Tom Serafin and we get called into crises like this, it's companies that didn't prepare for a crisis, or they realize too late that they need help. And if companies would just do a couple of little steps, have a plan, know what to do, the God forbid scenario, it pays dividends so much more. It's like an insurance policy. You know, it's not a want, it's a need.
You'd think that, I mean, the Tylenol scandal was about 35 years ago.
I remember it well. We threw out all of our talent. It was in Elk Grove Village in Mount Prospect.
And
frightening times.
They were the model. I mean, they took responsibility immediately.
They changed the way they packaged pills. Everything changed. Our world changed.
I can't even open up my pills anymore. It's ridiculous. You know, you start gnawing on it. Which is more difficult, opening up a CD or opening up? Of course,
you still have CDs, Bruce?
Exactly. People still have pills. No, so you'd think everybody would have learned that.
Well, going back to Facebook, it's really a shame because it takes them so long to acknowledge that they did something wrong.
Right.
And one of the first things is act of contrition. Just come out and said you were wrong and move on. And time again, I think Facebook's had 4 different issues this year, starting all the way in the beginning of January during the newsfeed part, when it came out that they were purposely pushing out things on people's news feeds to juxtaposition people's thought process.
Yeah, to have more democratic content hit you first and bury the conservative stuff.
Right. And then you go all the way to this selling information, the Cambridge Analytica story that it took them months to come out and say, oh, well, yeah, we've known about it. I believe their chief information officer left Facebook and said, you know, enough is enough.
It's pretty good when you can be hated by the left and the right, which Zuckerberg is. I mean,
well, then we have this again. I mean, learning that they're giving our information to 150 different companies like Amazon and what else was Netflix.
Right. And are they actually giving away
conversations
like reading
that
your
we
private
have
messages?
Yes, Bruce.
Your private messages?
Yes. I really don't think we're ever going to know the full truth. There's 3 sides to every story. Their side, our side, and then what the truth is.
So what are you doing, like Facebook? I mean, I don't want to hear another apology from Mark Zuckerberg. I think he should just step down. I mean, it's
that
time.
That has been a call numerous times. And an excessive move like that would probably turn Facebook's image, slowly turning a Titanic around, meaning we're fixing this. We're fixing this from the top down. I'm not advocating for him to step down, but some drastic move like that usually starts bringing back a reputation of a company because, again, it's who was to blame. And if you own it, you're at the top.
Actually, there's nothing more that Zuckerberg would like than to have Facebook regulated because the big companies always love the regulations. No, they do. Yeah. They love that. No, they love it because then they're in bed with the government, and then they become basically quasi-public utilities, and they drive out the small guy, the little competition. No, big companies love regulation.
Facebook is knee-deep in Washington on both the right and the left. They've hired consultants on both sides. They've tried to kill their competition with a negative media campaign, which not only works in opposition research, all that. They've hired a firm, fired a firm. They just can't come up with a good strategy to move forward.
So essentially, you're saying, Lissa, that any company that is worth anything should hire you, right? So what's your telephone number?
I think
or your website. I mean, it's Strategia Consulting, but how do they reach you?
Well, I mean, I have a client that actually is a construction company. It's one of the oldest construction companies in Chicago. And they had the forethought 7-8 years ago to come up with a crisis plan in a God forbid scenario. Mm-hmm. that their crane falls or whatever. And now they have it top down to all the way to the supervisors on the ground on if there is an accident, what do they do for their own internal communication and what do they do externally? And when they first called, I was like, oh, my God, I wish I wanted to go through the phone and hug them because not a lot of companies think about that. But if people just put in that proactive mindset or also think about, okay, so if something's not right, if you don't think it's not right, it probably isn't.
Can I give you like a hypothetical situation? Let's say you've got somebody who, had a relatively good career in the media, was like a sportscaster turned talk show host.
Bruce, you need crisis right for a Silk and Diamond.
And then he burned a lot of bridges. He gets angry from time to time. He writes private messages to people that apparently Facebook is reading. And
you
is there
keyed a car.
Is there ever remedying a situation like this?
Have you apologized, Bruce, ever?
Do you know what an apology is? Do you want us to look it up?
They deserved it! They deserved it!
Now, Bruce. We've talked about this.
Okay.
Let's. All right. Well, it's not.
They
forget
wouldn't
about
believe
him.
my apologies anyway, right?
Right.
They'd
What
be
about
insincere.
somebody like Roseanne Barr, who? What could she have done differently to save her career and to save that show? Because I know you guys think I'm weird, but I
Let
love
the record
that
show
show.
that Lissa
I watched every one, and I can't watch the Connors because I'm so upset.
Okay, so
she's a comedian. She's provocative. That's what she does.
That show put ABC on a whole nother stratosphere. It revived the network. I went to a network premiere party with Channel 7. Everything was Roseanne Barr. They were banking their entire future.
They did like a 20 rating. A
It
normal
was
show does like a 2.
Roseanne, do you remember this? She blamed that she was taking Ambien.
Right.
And what she said was a byproduct of the drug. I can't even pronounce the company. But the company came back, and I love this. They said, while all pharmaceutical treatments have side effects, racism is not a known side effect of medication.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is good.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing she could do to save herself from that one.
Well, she kept, but stepping in over and over again. She kept repeating things and getting herself deeper and deeper and deeper. You were talking earlier about what Michelle Obama was wearing.
Hold on, Bruce, stop.
And friends telling someone, do you have something in your teeth or not?
Right.
Doesn't Roseanne Barr have a friend that she listens to that's telling her, stop?
Now, here's the thing. I guess you don't double down. He says that's what I usually do. Roseanne tried to double down on what she had said. I mean, and if you look at the entire context of it, it wasn't necessarily, I don't even remember it right now, but
she
it wasn't
said about
necessarily
Valerie Jarrett being something.
But it really wasn't necessarily racist if you innocently construe it. But you're saying you don't even try to defend yourself. You just say you're sorry.
When you're defending, you're losing. Bruce, you know that. You're a lawyer.
I always double down.
You play one on TV, I'm not sure.
I quadruple down. I never apologize.
You need to explain. When you're defending, you're losing.
Yeah. All right.
But what about like what Kevin Hart did? I thought was brilliant. He came out and just said, "I've already apologized for homophobic tweets that I made 10 years ago." You know,
and he came up pretty quickly on that.
Yeah, he did. And you know what? He's not hosting the Oscars. So what? I don't even know who wants that job right now.
I don't even know if they have a host right now.
They don't. They're going to have a robot come up. Maybe, Bruce, you can apply
Bruce,
for that.
that's your next job.
There you go.
Did you aggravate that network?
I would be afraid to do, the musical number at the beginning. It's very...
Justin Timberlake, the only one who can.
I thought Seth MacFarlane's "We Saw Your Boobs" was my favorite opening.
Again,
of all
Bruce.
time. Yes.
You're still going to be kicked out of this radio station, too.
I will let the record show I averted my glance from Lissa when I said that
Oh,
statement. Yeah.
okay.
Nobody gives me credit for anything.
No, but it's attribution.
Yes.
He did say that. Seth MacFarlane said that during the opening of the Oscar show.
The whole number was about that. Then they had cutaways of all these actresses with implants.
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny.
Why did we just start talking about this?
This is how it goes with Bruce. All right, Lissa Truss, President and CEO of Strategia Consulting. Do you have a website? We're working on that?
I'm still with Seraphin, too.
So with Tom Seraphin, too. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate your insight, and we'll have you back soon.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs, the Treasury Secretary, calling the market's negative reaction to the Fed's interest rate hike overdone. Uber resumes autonomous vehicle tests in Pittsburgh. Those stories and more next.
Gold is a better way. Gold is a better way. Gold is a betterway.com. Imagine doing business with a company that seeks to add massive value before asking for your business. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the co-owner of Advantage Gold and the author of the now national best-selling book, Gold is a Better Way. This book may not be for you, but if you're like most people, you'll be blown away when you learn why gold is set to soar to over $10,000. And as a bonus for hitting the bestsellers list, I've been gifted 250 copies from my publisher. If you have an IRA or 401k with over $100,000, I want to send you a copy of the national best-selling book. You can buy it on Amazon or go to Barnes & Noble or be among the first 250 people to reply. Just text the word bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776 to claim your free national best-selling book now. That's the word bestseller to 49776. We promise to add massive value before ever asking for your business. Just text the word bestseller to 49776.
As the market tries to recover from the big sell-off, words of caution from Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, telling the Fox Business Network the negative market reaction this week completely overblown. Mnuchin says the market overreacted, computerized program trading took over, and drove stock prices further. Treasury secretaries always say things like that. Meanwhile, the market is not about right and wrong. The market is about the market. Uber resuming autonomous vehicle tests near downtown Pittsburgh. The restart comes just 9 months after one of its autonomous cars struck and killed a pedestrian in Arizona. Altria spending almost $13 billion for a stake in e-vapor company Juul, trying to offset declining cigarette sales. The investment puts the value of Juul at $38 billion. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's actually really been helping my system and my lupus and my gastro problems. So I'm actually very happy with the product.
Acid reflux is pretty much under control. That's why I keep taking it.
I have noticed, I'm sleeping better since I started taking the Balance of Nature and all the other things I'm doing.
I can't believe how wonderful your product is. I listened to you guys on the radio for years and years and years, and I listened to all the testimonials. I go, well, it's probably time to give it a try, and I've been just happy as can be ever since.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Lots of people would have told you to abort that baby. You didn't do that. I know that was hard. I want you to know that no matter what, I know that you always did the best you knew how to do, and look how it turned out. Those are the touching words Oprah Winfrey used to say goodbye to her mother, who passed away on Thanksgiving Day this year. Look how it turned out indeed. Vernita Lee's daughter is now a billionaire, instantly identified the world over by the mere utterance of her first name. Oprah may not preach what her mom practiced, but thankfully more Americans are choosing Vernita Lee's example over her daughter's. In the last decade, abortions in the United States have declined 25%, according to the CDC. Even as secular humanism has poisoned so many American institutions, sacred and civic, prayer warriors, Planned Parenthood defectors, and the pregnancy centers who tend to families in crisis are winning hearts and minds. As we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, we should also celebrate that the culture of life is beating back cultural Marxism.
AM 560, The Answer.
The most mispronounced words of 2018. Oh, yeah. Do you have your list, Mr.?
Yes, I do.
Mr. I'm a name assassinator. I cannot pronounce anybody's name correctly.
I would say name assassin.
Name assassin.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I need to be grammatically correct. On the top of the list, ready?
Yes.
Beto O'Rourke.
Well, it's not pronounced that. It should be pronounced Robert Francis O'Rourke, the faux Hispanic.
Oh, well, what do you mean faux Hispanic?
His name is Robert Francis O'Rourke.
That's
that
his real
sounds
name?
Irish to me.
Well, yeah. So, but he went to El Paso High School.
Good.
Grew up in El Paso, so he's down with the struggle. People have pronounced it Bateau, and it's Beto. Do you see there? It's Beto.
Okay.
O'Rourke. Another one people had problems with is Brett Kavanaugh.
How do you have a problem with that? I mean, I could understand if Christine Blasey Ford doesn't want to say his name.
People are saying Kavanaugh. Oh, where's Mike Kavanaugh? Oh, you remember Brett Kavanaugh.
Did the word, Ralph, you used in your yearbook
I already answered the question.
If you're, did it relate to alcohol?
I like
You
beer.
haven't answered that.
I like beer. I don't know if you do.
Okay.
Do you like beer, Senator, or not? What do you like to drink?
Next one is
Senator, what do you like to drink?
I like a devil's triangle with you, Brett.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Danula. I'm not going to bother with that. Here's one that you should know because it involves sports. Halapuli Vati Vaitai.
Yeah, I visited that when I went to Honolulu. Yeah.
He's an offensive
Saw the
tackle.
sunrise come over it.
Well,
Oh, I
he
thought it was a
helped his
mountain.
Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl title, 41-33 over New England last year. Jamal Khashoggi.
Sure, plays for the NBA's San Francisco Warriors.
No, he was murdered inside the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes. And Time Magazine put him on the cover as Person of the Year. Mukbang.
You know who I like is
Wait, who is Mukbang?
I don't know.
Mukbang.
You know who
It's a type of online video during which people eat large quantities of food.
Yes, I was justified in not really caring about that. I care about this one though, is Saoirse Ronan, because I loved her in she was in Lady Bird.
Oh,
but she was
so
in that movie where she's crossing the Atlantic as an Irish immigrant from a couple of years ago. She was fantastic.
She is a
in that
great
one.
actress, isn't she?
Yeah. Whatever her name is, I really like her.
No, her name is Saoirse Ronan.
No, it's Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse.
Shah.
Okay.
Saoirse Ronan.
There's another one called Freeka. It's a cereal that caught some buzz this year. Do you eat cereal, Bruce?
I haven't eaten cereal since Count Chocula came out. Yeah.
And then there's another one. Can you help me here? No, here this.
Entomophagy? Entomophagy?
Yes,
Entomophagy.
Entomophagy.
Entomophagy is related to my Uncle Sam. She's married to my Uncle Sam. Entomophagy.
No, if you've ever eaten an insect, you've practiced entomophagy. And it's more common than you think, according to the UN report. At least 2 billion people include insects in their diets.
Yeah.
That's good. You could read and I can't. Well, thank you, Bruce. Woof.
Exactly.
For helping us with our pronunciations.
Glad to be here.
That's all right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, back to business we go. The Secretary of Defense resigns in a 2-page letter because of President Trump's tweet. We'll have Colonel Cedric Layton here to give us his reaction and who is going to be taking the job next. But first, let's get into that newsroom there. Here's the one and only Mike Scott, who, by the way, thank you so much for making that wonderful dish this morning.
Well, you're welcome. And by the way, if you have eaten chocolate any time in your life, you've probably eaten an insect. Okay. Here are the stories we're following this morning. Bears playoff tickets sell out fast, seriously fast. Chicago man charged with making bomb threats on a Greyhound bus, and the Blackhawks top the Stars. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Government shutdown today if Democrats do not vote for border security. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump also just tweeted that the shutdown will last a very long time. His press secretary, Sarah Sanders, told Fox minutes ago.
It's a sad day in America when the Mexican government is doing more to protect the American people than Senate Democrats.
But Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says
the Trump temper tantrum will shut down the government, but it will not get him his wall.
He and other 7 Democrats refused to budge after House Republicans approved a short-term spending bill that does give the president more than $5 billion in wall funding he demanded. If there's no compromise, a partial government shutdown would begin at midnight. Jesus' name was brought up at a House hearing in the Trump immigration policy.
Thank God there wasn't a wall that stopped him from seeking refuge in Egypt.
or he would have too have perished.
Democratic Congressman Luis Gutierrez.
Shame on us for wearing our badge of Christianity during Christmas and allow the secretary to come here and lie.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen replied,
calling me a liar are fighting words. I'm not a liar.
And he walked out of the hearing as she kept talking.
It would mean that every single family that I found illegally crossing, we would separate. We did none of those.
Who will be the next defense secretary? Jim Mattis is going to retire. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, in his resignation letter, Secretary Mattis wrote that President Trump has a right to a Secretary of Defense whose views are better aligned with yours. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says Secretary Mattis has been
a comfort to many of us as a voice of stability.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the two men have had a good relationship.
The president and Secretary Mattis have agreed to disagree on a number of topics.
Secretary Mattis's resignation comes after President Trump announced the U.S. would be leaving Syria. Dave.
And Rachel, the president wants to pull 7,000 U.S. troops out of Afghanistan next year. That's half of our force there. This is Fox News.
Snowfall in Chicago. 34 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 3 adults and 3 children are in serious condition this morning following a blaze that broke out on Chicago's far south side. Chicago Fire tells us the blaze broke out near 118th and Michigan Avenue. Those children rushed to Comer Children's Hospital. The adults transported to the trauma center at the University of Chicago Medical Center. Bail set at $200,000 for the man accused of firing a gun, then setting off a chain of events that led to the deaths of 2 Chicago police officers. Edward Brown is charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Mourners honoring those 2 Chicago police officers struck and killed by the Metro train gathered yesterday in Oak Lawn for the wake of Officer Conrad Gary.
We're happy that people are honoring him, but at the same time, it's not the way you want him.
Hundreds gathered yesterday for the wake for Officer Gary. Gary and Officer Eddie Marmoleo were killed Monday night. Marmoleo's wake is scheduled for this afternoon at the same funeral home, while Gary's funeral services will be held this morning at the St. Rita Cassia Shrine Chapel in Chicago. A former Illinois judge convicted of mortgage fraud has been sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison. Former Cook County Circuit Judge Jessica O'Brien was crying before District Judge Thomas Durkin handed down the sentence. O'Brien convicted of fraudulently obtaining mortgages in Chicago for investment properties, then illegally pocketing more than $300,000 more than a decade before she became judge in 2012. 7 in the Chicago area accused of robbing internet users of at least $2 million in online scams over the past 2 years. If convicted in Operation Goldfish, they face a maximum of 20 years in prison. Patrick Kane scored twice. Blackhawks beat the Stars 5-2 in Dallas. Bulls welcome the Magic tonight. The News is a service of Peloton. This holiday, Peloton is the perfect gift for them and you, so give them up to 14 live cycling classes every day and thousands more on demand. Plus, you'll get to clip in 2, as long as they're not riding. Go to onepeloton.com or visit them at 520 Michigan Avenue, Oak Brook Center, and Westfield Old Orchard. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
As we prepare to celebrate Christmas this year, AM 560, The Answer, wants to give a gift to you. The gift of Christmas music. From the morning of Christmas Eve all the way through Christmas Day.
I'm Dusty Rhodes with a warm winter's welcome to our annual holiday presentation. Again this year, the tradition continues.
Non-stop Christmas music. Right here on AM 560. From traditional favorites to hits from today. Our gift to you here on AM 560. Brought to you by Balance of Nature and by Wealth Management Group.
I'm Dan Proff.
And I'm Amy Jacobson.
And we want to tell you about an opportunity for you to promote your business and to make a difference this Christmas season.
We're talking about our Food for the Poor Business Benefactor Program.
We've partnered with Food for the Poor to provide food and clean water to several thousand children this year in the Caribbean and Latin America, where it's desperately needed.
And your business can be a part of this. Become a Food for the Poor Business Benefactor by making a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor. When you do that, AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air right here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Friday
at no additional cost to you.
That's the best advertising deal in all of Chicago. To take advantage of this deal, just call Anjanette Natkowski at 847-472-8951. Again, that's Anjanette at 847-472-8951. One more time, 847-472-8951.
What a year. Your home improvement to-do list still isn't done. But hey, at least you still have time to get the Ford vehicle you've always wanted. Just get to the final days of our holiday sales event. Stop by your local Ford dealer today. It's where you'll find our best offers of the season on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. So, see you sometime between now and January 2nd. Ford, built for the holidays. And now, for a limited time, you can bring home a new F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months, only at your Ford dealer. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $1,389 per month per $1,000 finance, regardless of down payment, is available on 18 model year F-150, excludes Raptor. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 1/2/19. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for qualifications and complete details.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Christmas will be here before you know it, but there's still time to save on great gifts at Lowe's. Now you can get a Craftsman 20-volt cordless drill for just $69. Lowe's, the new home of Craftsman. Offer valid 12/19 through 12/26. While supplies last, see store for details, U.S. only.
7:08. Let's get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Metro is operating an early getaway schedule today, but we have early problems on the BNSF line. There are some delays and cancellations due to mechanical issues. Edens runs 20 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose out on 21. On Kennedy, delays start at Canfield. 38 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose, 14 on the Express. Up on 30 minutes to the airport, the Eisenhower. 42 minutes, 390 to downtown. 26 from Mannheim, up on 34 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to the drive, up on 36. The Ryan is 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 21 minutes, ID to the merge, Bishop 437. Westbound Tri-State delays, Southwest Highway, 83rd Street toll, the Stevenson to Ogden, the Reagan tollway to the Ike. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Colder day today, clouds and breezy, high 36. Breezy this evening, patchy clouds tonight, low 24. Intervals of clouds and sun tomorrow, high 39. Stray flurries on Sunday morning, otherwise sunshine, high 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 35 and snow showers at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Friday morning, the first official day of winter. The winter solstice is upon us. Amy Jacobson here, Bruce Wolf.
Winter is coming. Winter has arrived.
Well, yes.
Game of Thrones returns next year.
Thank you.
Understand the battle scene is a battle scene that you've never seen before.
All right. Thanks for that.
Okay.
Bruce.
Little tease right there.
So Bruce Wolf sitting in for Dan Proft. Big news, too, this week while you've been filling in. There was no border wall funding, and then there was, and then there wasn't. And the stopgap measure, we still have, we've got our countdown clock going, 15 hours, 49 minutes, and 10 seconds.
And Mark.
Until a possible government shutdown, mostly over border wall funding. But the big news yesterday came in the afternoon when Secretary of Defense Colonel James Mattis quit, went to the White House, had a meeting with President Trump, and said that is enough. Here's Jennifer Griffin, who is the Pentagon reporter for Fox News.
This was not something that Secretary Mattis did lightly. I had been told by sources here in the Pentagon, amidst the rumors that Mattis was leaving during the past year, that he would not leave unless he was pushed out. This was not a decision he takes lightly. He clearly has been at odds with the president over a number of issues, especially if you look in the last few days, the issue of pulling all U.S. troops out of Syria. That is something that Mattis opposed. That is something that all of the top leaders here in the Pentagon, as well as the U.S. Central Command generals, opposed. I was told by a very well-placed source here in the Pentagon that morale has never been lower at meetings here at the Pentagon of the top brass in the last few days to discuss the pullout of troops from Syria.
And there's no doubt that his departure is shaking Washington and military bases across the world. And let's get the latest now from Colonel Cedric Leighton, CNN military analyst and security consultant who served as the Joint Chiefs Staff and the National Security Council. And Cedric, Colonel, has been on CNN all night long, so we appreciate him joining us this morning. Good morning, Colonel. Can you hear us?
I sure can, Amy. How are you doing this morning?
Good. So we all learned out, all of us at the same time, including General Mattis, that President Trump would be pulling troops out of Syria, 2,000 troops, via Twitter. And do you think that General Mattis deserved better than that, than maybe President Trump should have sat down with him and other, heads of state, or even not heads of state, but other administrators to give them the news?
Oh, definitely. And I think the key thing here, Amy, is that these kinds of moves, moving troops out of Syria, possibly moving troops out of Afghanistan, all of that requires a lot of deliberation because there are a lot of moving pieces to any of this. When you look at Syria, you've got such a complicated situation on the ground. It was complicated before we got there. It'll stay complicated when we leave, and we're going to leave at some point, regardless of how the president handles this type of thing. But this requires a lot of consultation, and in particular with the military brass, especially with Secretary Mattis, but also with our allies. And that was one of the key factors that Secretary Mattis mentioned in his resignation letter, that the treatment of allies was something that in this administration was something that bothered him quite a great deal.
Yeah, because he mentioned you can't leave your friends, the Kurds, on the battlefield alone. What will happen to them if President Trump gets what he wants?
Unfortunately, Syria is a place of worst-case scenarios. So, the picture is really bleak for the Kurds, and they have a history of having real trouble in the region that they live in. What will probably happen is that we'll see massacres. You have people who are genuinely scared for their lives because not only are they charged with fighting ISIS on our behalf, but Kurdish forces are also having to defend their towns and villages from a possible Turkish invasion. So you have, in essence, two of our allies, and the president has made the choice to pick one of our allies, the Turks, over the Kurds. And there can be legitimate reasons for that, but that is something that really has to be thought about very, very carefully before that's done.
Colonel, I'm at 6s and 7s over this whole thing. I mean, on the one hand, yes, we have destroyed the physical caliphate, but the terrorist organization still exists. And it's, you can't play this whack-a-mole because the mole seems to get bigger and bigger each time you ignore it. And certainly there have been benefits with a minimal footprint put in Syria by us. I mean, we only have a couple of thousand troops there. On the other hand, what is the end game here? I mean, are we going to just wind up with handing Syria over to radical Muslims eventually anyway? We don't. We don't want to have a quagmire. There is something to be said, and I understand President Trump is brusque He doesn't handle things, deliver the news in the right way. But substantively, I mean, there is something to be said for pulling out, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Bruce. You can make a very cogent argument that one should pull out. The problem that you have with that, though, is that once you do that, there are a whole series of dominoes that fall. And, I'm not trying to invoke the old domino theory, but in this particular case, what you're looking at is a situation where some people are down there depending on us. They are looking at, what we do, not only specifically in Syria, but they're seeing that as really a harbinger of what's going to happen next in other relationships all around the world, even outside of the Middle East. So it's a very difficult situation. But to your point, it is absolutely, a possibility that one makes a decision that now we're going to have a certain sphere of influence and Syria is not within that sphere of influence. I would argue that that would be a dangerous assumption to make, but it is certainly a legitimate assumption from a geopolitical standpoint. Then we have to realize that if we do that, that means that the Russians and the Iranians are going to gain considerable influence because, instead of ISIS being the dominant force in a large part of Syria, you will have the Assad regime as the dominant force, and that is probably going to happen anyways. But with ISIS in particular, you have a situation where you can actually see them being diminished. The caliphate, like you mentioned, is on its last legs. But that's the time when you prosecute the advantage and you go after them and finish them off. And of course, that's a very, very difficult thing to do.
Colonel, it seems that there's been great pause by both Democrats and Republicans over Mattis handing in his 2-page resignation letter. Do you have any idea who is going to take this job? And do you think he'll last until February? I mean, it said that he's going to leave at the end of February, but do you see him staying that long? And who in the world is going to take his position?
Well, that's a really good question. Every name that comes up, there's always something where either they're not confirmable, or at least it appears that they're not confirmable in the Senate, or you're in a situation where they're going to have to do a lot of convincing before they actually get there. I think you may see some member of Congress who is very closely aligned with President Trump coming into that role. People have talked about Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas as being a possible Secretary of Defense. And he's a military veteran, so would certainly bring that to the table. And of course, he's politically, I think, acceptable to the president, but he's also very concerned about what's going on in Syria and in Afghanistan, and his views may not align with the president's as much as the president thinks. And as far as Secretary Mattis lasting until February, I don't know. I have my doubts. Clearly, the secretary picked that date as his going away date, but that is because of things like congressional testimony, as well as meetings with allies and things of that nature, and that those are in some cases someone like President Trump may see that as just a nicety instead of as a legitimate reason for somebody to stay on. So it's very likely in my mind that the Secretary Mattis will leave before the end of February, just because that's kind of the way the president would operate. But we'll see how this all folds out at this time.
I see General Keane getting the job and you jumping over to Fox. That's just my view. But no, here's what's going to. Here's a possibility.
The man's been up all night on CNN.
I understand, and I'm taking advantage of that. Here's perhaps a not unrealistic scenario, because President Trump is known to be pliable. I mean, you just witnessed it on the continuing resolution, and now he's firm because apparently Ann Coulter and Rush Limbaugh influenced him on the wall yesterday. Is it possible, for example, that sure, we withdraw the troops, but pretty soon we're making sure that we have aerial support of whoever's on the ground there, and then some of the generals say, well, we need a few boots on the ground again, and then we put them back on the ground. I mean, that's possible, right?
It's very possible, and it's a very interesting scenario. And one of the key things that we were wrestling with as we heard the news last night was, would air support actually continue? There have been over 200 airstrikes in the last week or so against ISIS positions from U.S. and coalition air forces. And one of our favorite ways of waging war nowadays is to use air power. And there are a lot of good reasons for that. And I think that the idea of once you leave, there is always the possibility of coming back. And if you look at our history, across several administrations, and I do think this may not be the last that we see U.S. forces in Syria, even if the president does what he said he's going to do and withdraws the forces right now. There may be an imperative for us to go back there, and knowing that region, I would bet on that imperative taking over.
All right, thank you so much. This is Colonel Cedric Leighton, CNN military analyst, was on all night through the network, so we thank you so much for being with us, and we really appreciate it and hope you have a very happy holidays.
Well, thank you so much, Amy. I wish you and everybody on the team at WIND a happy holiday as well.
All right, blessings. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke. And I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days. And 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. If I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I mean, I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. And now I'm sure you've heard that the same experience is available for your daughter. It's been around since 1884, developing the minds and shaping the character of young people from around the country and around the world. Yes, people come from all over the world to attend St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. They have an impressive alumni list, which includes heads of state, key business leaders, professional athletes, accomplished artists, statesmen, and politicians. And it's really their goal is to prepare cadets for success in life by instilling in them a solid work ethic and understanding of the value of integrity, teamwork, and the ability to think critically, communicate well, and function in a diverse and ever-changing world. It is a beautiful campus, 110 acres. It has a golf course on it. It's nestled next to 2 rivers. It is just a beautiful place, but the teachers there are amazing. The administrators are just as amazing. If you'd like to see for yourself or schedule a visit or have any questions, you can call them at 1-800-SJ-CADET because there's always ongoing enrollment, which means there's always in time to enroll your son or daughter. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET or simply go to their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Hugs at the arrival gate.
Hey, I missed you so much.
Seeing your best bud for the first time in a long time. Family and friends around the table. At Lincoln, we know the holidays are filled with moments like these. When we realize that the greatest wish of all is one that brings us together. In that spirit, we invite you into our home during the Lincoln Wishlist event, where not coincidentally, we're making wishes come true with exceptional offers on the Lincoln family of luxury vehicles. The Lincoln Continental, the MKZ, the MKC, the new Nautilus, and the iconic Navigator. The Lincoln Wishlist event, because wishes really do come true at your Lincoln dealer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Got some nice text messages and some nasty ones. Amy, NBC5 liberal. It comes out when Proft isn't there. Too bad you had to hang out in Stebbick's backyard.
Oh, wait, I'm not familiar
Merry
with this story.
Christmas
Tell
to
me
you.
about that. I'm the one in the
humbug.
By the way, if you're streaming live, I'm the one in the bikini top here today.
It's
I thought
a
it was
two-piece.
totally inappropriate.
Also, guys, it was Arlington Heights where the Tylenol scare and death started. That's true. It was not. The family lived in Arlington Heights. I thought that the bottle was purchased in Elk Grove, but we're right next to each other. So, all right. Thank you for correcting me.
Sure.
And the president received millions of votes. Last time I looked, Mattis didn't receive any. Deal with it. Rawr. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, but the president surrounded himself with Mattis and Pompeo and
Yeah,
Bolton.
well, Pompeo didn't know and Bolton didn't know this was
Pompeo.
coming. I got the Pompeo right there, not Pazizi.
Pompeo.
Let's go to Kevin, who joins us from Northfield. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, guys. Amy, Bruce, how are you? I'd like
Very
to
good.
tie together a few strands that are loose in your show this morning.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
I'd like to dwell on the fact that Bruce had a huge career on Wall Street. He was known as the Wolf of Wall Street. He was a lender,
Yes.
and he invented the lone wolf.
Yes.
And before that, with the equities, Bruce, weren't you involved in the dark days of disco with those bump stocks?
I sure was.
What is he talking about?
I don't know where you're going with this, Kevin, but I'm following you. I will.
The bump stocks, they're a Wall Street equity product.
Yes.
In the dark days of disco, don't you get it?
I in the dark.
This is a lot coming at us right now. I think a Steve Dahl reference is happening.
I think there is a
Disco
Steve Dahl. By the way,
Demolition and-
today is Steve
boy.
Dahl's last day on the air.
Let's just
R.I.P.
tease our competitor.
Today is the last day for Steve over by there on W something else. Yes.
Did you try to get that job too?
I sure did.
And what
Ben
did they
Shapiro, who is just me, 30 years younger and a lot smarter, got that job. He is a White Sox fan, Ben Shapiro. He wrote a book about the White Sox. I would never even read a book about the White Sox.
You wouldn't even read a book.
About anything.
I do have to say one thing about Ben Shapiro, though. The kids love.
Oh, do they love him?
Oh, no, I have kids, and I coach on Friday nights because, why not? Why not just some random team at Shield Park?
Yeah.
And it's awesome. And we did a cheer, and they said, Ben Shapiro on 3. 1, 2, 3, Ben Shapiro. I'm like, whoa. What about Blaine Blue Jays? What are we doing here?
Right.
They love him.
How do they even know who he is?
Because he has these memes. And they love his memes. His memes are funny, I guess.
There's got to be like at least 50.
They want him
Ben
to be
Shapiro.
president. I'm not kidding you.
He can't. He's Jewish.
What are you talking about? He was born here.
You got to be 35.
Yeah,
Born in
isn't
the
he
United
35?
States and a good Christian.
So not only,
or post-Christian.
Not only are we promoting our competition right now, we want him to be president.
Well, so he gets no longer our competition.
But he used to be on Salem and the Family for a
He's
while.
against gay marriage. He's an Orthodox Jew. How nobody can resonate with the American public and be against gay marriage? That's like me.
Let's go to Chuck, our friend Chuck. Oh, phone lines are always open, especially. And at 8:30, your favorite moments of 2018. We'd like to hear from you. 3-1.
I got to start doing memes.
You do. 312-642-5600. Let's go to Chuck. Chuck from Delavan.
Hey.
Chuck.
Hey, how you doing, Chuck
Hey.
from Delavan? Amy, a little heads up. The cicadas will be back in 5 years. You can go and eat them. They come out every 17 years. They're delicious. Bruce, this is Santa Claus.
Yes.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
You know who I am.
I know
I
who
want to
you
give
are.
you a quick Christmas.
Yes.
I want to give you a quick Christmas story. I was at the Brookfield Zoo the other day, and I've seen these kids now for 6 years, and they're triplets. And I seen them when they were in their mother. She took her first Christmas present, sit on my lap. But anyway, I said, "Are you the kids that are really good triplets and always pick up your dirty underwear and your dirty socks, and you never fight and hit each other?" And the one kid says, "Santa, we're not those triplets."
Oh. So you play Santa Claus at Brookfield Zoo? Is that
Yeah, this will be my 12th year.
Oh, that's
I've been there for 12 straight years now.
Oh, so do you have a real beard or do you have a fake beard?
I got a real beard. I did the Chicago Med last year, Naughty or Nice, where I dropped dead in the middle of the waiting room. I was supposed to be the water tower Santa.
Oh.
And then 2 years ago, I did the Oreo cookie commercial. I beat out 185 Santa Clauses all across the United
Chuck,
States.
I had no idea you were Santa Claus.
Chuck, let me
Wait,
ask
did you ask my mom out? Because there was a Santa Claus at Water Tower Place that seriously got my mom's phone number a few years ago.
No, I don't do that.
Why was your mom sitting on his lap?
No, she was sitting next to him, and they were talking because her husband had just died and his wife had died, and they were bonding.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I look over like, Mom, what are you doing with Santa Claus? The kids are like the grandkids right here.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we're just talking, and they exchanged numbers. So that wasn't you, Chuck. I didn't know you were Santa.
Chuck, let me ask you: when you watch the movies, the various Christmas movies, Miracle on 34th Street, the one Gene Shepard is in that we see every year, A Christmas Story. Who's the best Santa you've ever seen in the movies?
I actually like the Miracle on 34th Street Santa.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, what made you? So did you grow up and think I want to be Santa, or is it the fact that you look like Santa?
Actually, I worked for a major construction company, and I told the workers that if they didn't put $60, a $30 boy gift and a $30 girl gift into the box, they couldn't. They'd have to take the stairs. And then the business agent showed up and they said, "Hey, you can't shake down our workers." I said, "Look who's talking about shaking somebody down. Give me $60 right now."
Wait a minute, Santa. Why are you discriminatory? Why is it $60 for the boys and $30 for the girls?
No, it was a $60 combination. You had to have one gift for 30, one gift.
I see,
so when I took it to Catholic Charities, this was 20 years ago, because I was Catholic Charity Santa for 15 years. I did all their battered women's shelter and their foster children program. And I was there, and they said, "Hey, would you play Santa for us?" And I go, "Yeah," and I had a beard at the time. And then somebody saw me, and then I ended up going to work at Marshall Fields for the last 6 years that Marshall Fields was there.
Really? You closed
so
down
I've been
Marshall
doing
Fields.
Santa since 92.
Wow.
I've been Santa Claus.
I had no idea you had such a soft heart.
You still got some
soft
Franco
spot in your
mints.
heart.
Still
yes.
got some Franco mints left over.
Well, thank you, Chuck, for sharing your story, and ho, ho, ho.
Thank you, Chuck.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you. And I will tell you one thing, Bruce.
Yeah.
You have actually you've been a good boy all this week.
Wow, until today.
Thank you.
Naughty. All right, thanks, Chuck.
All right.
Appreciate it. Have a happy Merry Christmas. That's so sweet.
I got the endorsement of Santa Claus.
Coming up next, maybe you can convert now. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have a conversion here. You're going to become an Episcopalian.
That's hardly a conversion, is it?
Let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
35 snow showers in the area. President Trump says if the government has a partial shutdown tonight, it will be a Democrat Schumer shutdown. House Republicans approved a bill to fund the president's border wall. Senate votes today to try and pass that measure. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis resigning after repeated disagreements with President Trump over policies and dealings with allies. Retired General Barry McCaffrey.
So losing Secretary Mattis ought to be of concern not just to combat troops, but also the American people.
Mattis gave Trump his letter of resignation yesterday. Pope Francis is telling priests who molest children to turn themselves in. Pope made the demand today in his annual Christmas speech to the Vatican bureaucracy. President Trump facing ongoing bipartisan criticism over his decision to withdraw U.S. ground forces from Syria. South Carolina Republican Lindsey Graham telling reporters that the president needs to listen to his top military advisors and reverse course. 3 children and 3 adults here in Chicago in serious condition following a fire on Chicago's far south side. Fire broke out at 118th and Michigan inside of a home. Those children were rushed to Comer Children's Hospital. Bail set at $200,000 for the man accused of firing a gun and setting off a chain of events that led to the deaths of 2 Chicago police officers. Mourners are honoring those 2 officers struck and killed by that Metro train today. Hundreds gathered yesterday in Oak Lawn for the wake for Officer Conrad Gary. Gary and Officer Eddie Marmoleo were killed Monday night. Marmoleo's wake is scheduled for this afternoon at the Blake Lamb Funeral Home, while Gary's funeral services will be held this morning. Blackhawks beat the Stars 5-2 in Dallas. Bulls welcoming in the Magic tonight. The news is a service of Lowe's. Christmas will be here before you know it, but there's still time to save on great gifts at Lowe's. Now you can get a Craftsman 20-volt cordless drill for just $69. Lowe's, the new home of Craftsman. Offer valid 12/19 through 12/26 while supplies last. See store for details, U.S. only. 7:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager says we have reason to worry for our democracy.
This indictment, he may have paid off or asked his lawyer to pay off people and then violated campaign finance law. I am afraid for my country. What we are seeing here is exactly what happens in the third world, where powers use their government for political ends.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Quoting our great 26th president, Teddy Roosevelt, "To educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society."
For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, including experienced quality control and assurance engineers, plus validation and compliance experts. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI resources are all degreed professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or online at hireasi.com.
It's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. I'm Alan Gottlieb, founder of the Second Amendment Foundation. When someone says we don't need that kind of gun, remind them the Founding Fathers determined what rights our Constitution should protect. There's a world of difference between rights and needs. It is not the function of government to tell us what we need or what we don't. Certainly no one needs an assault rifle or a Saturday Night Special, or for that matter, no one needs a Corvette with a high-capacity horsepower engine capable of speeds to 150 miles per hour. But in the hands of honest, responsible individuals, we have the right of choice. We have the right to read books others don't like. We have the right to listen to any radio program we choose. We have the right to dress the way we want to. We also have the right to own firearms of our choice. So the next time someone tells you you don't need something, tell them it's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs. Join the Second Amendment Foundation today so that this message and our Bill of Rights might live. Call 425-454-7012. That's 425-454-7012.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
7:38 and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
The Edens Expressway is pretty light right now. It's 19 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. The spur is a little heavy from the Toll Plaza to Waukegan Road. On Kennedy, delays start at Nagel, 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, 18 in the Express. About 31 minutes downtown to the airport. About Eisenhower. 40 minutes, 390 to the Bird Circuit. 26 from Manheim, about 34 minutes to 390. Stevenson's heavy now, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, about 36. Ryan is 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, I-80 to the Bird Bishop, 436. Northbound Tri-State delays from Southwest Highway to 75th, to Stevenson to Ogden, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, cloudy, breezy, colder, a high of 36 today. Currently in Chicago, flurries and 33 degrees. 34 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
How much Christmas spirit do you think's going on in Washington, D.C., huh? With the news yesterday that General Mattis not abruptly, according to CNN, he woke up at 7:30 in the morning, was very concerned about his Kurdish friends on the battlefield, called President Trump then, scheduled a meeting for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They spoke for a few hours, and it was not going well, and he submitted right then and there a 2-page resignation letter that basically said you'd be better off, having a Secretary of Defense who was aligned similarly with your values. It has been a whirlwind this past week in Washington, D.C. And what does this all mean and what is actually going to happen? For that, let's get the latest with Jed Babin, returning guest, former United States Deputy Undersecretary of Defense and contributor to the Washington Times and the American Spectator. Good morning, Mr. Babin. How are you?
Well, so far so good. How are you?
Good. So what did you think when President Trump tweeted out to everyone, including us, including the generals, that he was going to be withdrawing 2,000 troops out of Syria?
Well, I really don't have a problem with that, except for the fact that what comes next. We've never really had a clear goal in Syria. And, to get out of Syria suddenly leaves our Kurdish allies, pretty much high and dry and at the mercy of Turkish President Erdogan, who wants to kill them all. So I don't think it's a really great idea to be doing it so suddenly without telling Erdogan, leave the Kurds alone, and we're going to enforce it if you don't. So that's a real big problem. And again, I don't know what the heck we're doing in Syria to start with, but once we got in and once the Kurds came in at our request to help defeat ISIS, we can't really leave them high and dry, which is exactly what Mr. Trump is doing.
Well, of course, President Trump is somewhat pliable. Look at what he just did the other day, yesterday, about the wall. He was going to sign the continuing resolution. Now he's firm. It's possible that he can be persuaded to stagger the withdrawal so we don't do it suddenly. Isn't that right?
Well, it's possible, but frankly, who's going to persuade him? John Kelly is almost out. Jim Mattis is on his way out. And there really isn't anybody else there. I mean, Mr. Bolton could try, but I don't think Mr. Bolton is going to be very successful. Don't forget, he said in September that we'd be in Syria as long as Iran was. And last time I checked, they're still there.
But he's still there, and Mike Pompeo is still there. And, there might be a commentator on Fox who will persuade him as well, just by him watching television. It could happen.
Hey, it could happen.
Okay.
But, what does it say?
You're there.
When you have John Bolton, you have Pompeo, and they were taken off by this. I don't like the whole thing of information being released via Twitter.
Well, nobody likes that, especially the people who are the subject of the information. But, this is what this president does, and, we can say we don't like it, but we're stuck with it. He governs via Twitter. Most presidents govern by Oval Office speeches and by legislation. This guy governs by Twitter.
Well, do you feel the president?
It is.
Do you think he's supporting authoritarian regimes? He did speak to the president of Turkey last week. I'm not. That my level of trust for him and the future of this country is not there right now.
Well, I don't have any trust for Erdogan. He's clearly an enemy. But, we have to have some level of trust in Mr. Trump because he's the president right now. I don't have a lot of trust in his judgment because he doesn't show it. He doesn't show judgment that's trustworthy at this point. So I don't know where he's going to go. I think he is changeable, as you guys said in the intro to this. He does one thing one moment and another thing the next. He's caved in on his cave-in on the wall so far, and it's still only 9 o'clock in the morning here in the East Coast. So
and
he could change 3 more times by the setting sun.
Remember, he had 3 different positions on abortion during the campaign within 36 hours. So he is flexible.
Well, but then last week, I believe it was, if not the week before, he had suggested that the military, members of the military, are going to build his border wall. That's not what is that what their job duties entail, or are their job duties what the president tells them to do?
Well, their job duties are to what the president tells them to do within parameters. You can't tell a battalion of Marines to go build a wall. I guess you could, but I think that would be kind of outside of their military operations specialty. So I think you're not going to see that. The question that he was trying to approach inartfully was getting the Pentagon budget to pay for it. And I think that's possible, but very unlikely. I think you're going to have to get some reprogramming of money that the Congress is not going to go along with. So, the real big problem here is what the president promises is not going to be what can happen because the law and, the Congress are going to restrict them.
Well, I've heard you criticize the president's style and the procedure by which he's going to withdraw the troops, but I'm not sure that I understand what your position is, other than you don't know what the heck we were doing there in the first place. Isn't there an argument for saying, hey, we've destroyed the caliphate and we've got to keep our thumb down on ISIS because they have a way of multiplying and getting more recruits, and for the minimal footprint that we have had in Syria, it's been worth it?
No, there's no argument to that effect. Number one, we were not there only to crush ISIS. We were there to oppose Russia and Iran establishing themselves in Syria, which they've done, and they pretty much disregarded us. We've been there supposedly to crush ISIS. The president said, victory, we've done it, mission accomplished, and quite frankly, that's fake news. We haven't done it. ISIS is still there. ISIS is in Libya. It's in a lot of other places, and if we want to crush ISIS, we've got at least half the job remaining to do. So, there's a lot of ways to argue things, but I prefer to stick with the facts, and the facts don't indicate what the president said.
All right. Thank you, Jed Babin, former United States Deputy Undersecretary of Defense and contributor to the Washington Times and the American Spectator. Have a wonderful holiday.
Thanks. You guys, too.
All right. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
The following is a paid announcement.
Now, Geiger Wealth brings you Retire with Confidence.
Thanks for joining us today here on Retire with Confidence with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Bill, usually we're getting together at this time to talk about retirement planning and helping people retire with confidence. But today, you've got a very special message for us, something that's very near and dear to your heart.
Mike, the thing that I want to talk about today with our audience is a little bit different than what we normally do about retirement planning. We are involved with a foundation called We the Children, and the mission of We the Children is to help underprivileged children with food, with medical care, with clothing that they desperately need. Right now, we have a 2-year-old boy named Kiever in Venezuela that has a severe medical condition, and basically what he has is fluid on his brain. It's building up. He needs surgery very, very quickly to relieve the pressure on his brain. They need to install a valve. It's something called a craniotomy, which scares me just thinking about it. But this little boy is only 2 years old. He needs this surgery badly. His doctors have told his parents that if he doesn't get this operation within the next 30 days, he may die. I'd like to ask our listening audience today to join me in going to the website wethechildren.org, wethechildren.org, and contribute whatever you can, whatever your heart says is right for you. It would be truly, truly appreciated in this Christmas season, and it's going to help us save Kiever's life.
The web address again is wethechildren.org. That's wethechildren.org. And folks, don't forget, this is 100% tax deductible. The end of the year, a lot of you are perhaps thinking about some sort of charitable donation, and we ask you to contribute to this great cause. Again, that's wethechildren.org, wethechildren.org.
Yeah, it's tax deductible whether you're an individual or whether you're a corporation. Whatever you donate, 100% of it goes directly to Kiever's medical care. There's no overhead on this whatsoever. We're moving everything to his surgeons in Venezuela so we can save his life.
Folks, again, it's wethechildren.org. That's wethechildren.org. Donate what you can right now to wethechildren.org. A 2-year-old boy, his name is Kiever.
And folks, I want to take just a moment here to thank everyone in advance for helping us save this boy's life. I want to wish everyone listening to our voices a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season. And if you have the space in your heart, and I sure hope you do, please go to wethechildren.org right now and make a contribution of any size. And please help us save this boy's life.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer.
I have fibromyalgia, I have nerve damage and fatigue, I have thalassemia, I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt it the first month. I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Lots of people would have told you to abort that baby. You didn't do that. I know that was hard. I want you to know that no matter what, I know that you always did the best you knew how to do, and look how it turned out. Those are the touching words Oprah Winfrey used to say goodbye to her mother, who passed away on Thanksgiving Day this year. Look how it turned out indeed. Vernita Lee's daughter is now a billionaire, instantly identified the world over by the mere utterance of her first name. Oprah may not preach what her mom practiced, but thankfully more Americans are choosing Vernita Lee's example over her daughter's. In the last decade, abortions in the United States have declined 25%, according to the CDC. Even as secular humanism has poisoned so many American institutions, sacred and civic, prayer warriors, Planned Parenthood defectors, and the pregnancy centers who tend to families in crisis are winning hearts and minds. As we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, we should also celebrate that the culture of life is beating back cultural Marxism.
AM 560, The Answer.
Are we on? Yeah, we were just listening to past Christmas songs that we have sung in the 8:30 hour here on AM 560.
We have enough for an album.
Yeah, I think. But yeah,
Think about it.
All right. You know who can sing? Justin Kosick, our technical producer. Because El Gallito, we only have a few. Actually, today's the last day that we have to see him again because he's retiring from Congress. He graciously gave his seat to Chuy Garcia. Chuy.
This is a democracy, and we will make democracy work.
El Gallito. This is how we do it in the Hillies 4th District. Just another Democrat unrealistic. I want to hear you scream impeach 45. El Gallito.
All right, so he was spitting fire at Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristen Nielsen, calling her remorseful. I mean, he was attacking her. This is his last day in Congress.
Secretary Nielsen, the majority on this committee must think you're doing a fantastic job because they've ordered this hearing so that you could come before us and look tough and remorseless just in the time for the holidays. Remorseless secretary during the holidays. Christmas, as they like to make sure and specify. I suspect that if you still have your job, which seems to always be a big question, in 3 weeks, we'll see if you still have the same sympathetic questions when you come back.
I mean, he was classless.
But during Christmas, because the majority always wants to just call it Christmas, that during Christmas, a time in which we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, a Jesus Christ who had to flee for his life with Mary and Joseph.
Mary!
Thank God there wasn't a wall that stopped him from seeking refuge in Egypt. Thank God that wall wasn't there. And thank God there was an administration like this.
And then he walked out. He didn't even
all the-
listen to Nielsen give her
the
answer.
hyperbole. Oh, no, this is when he walked out.
Shame on everybody that separates children and allows them to
this is
stay at
last
the other
moment
side of the border,
in
fearing
Congress.
death, fearing hunger,
clap.
fearing sickness. Shame on us
And
for
scene.
wearing our
Oh, sorry.
badge of Christianity during Christmas and allow the secretary to come here and lie.
And
Thank you.
scene.
No, here's her
Time of
response.
gentleman has
Listen to her
expired. The
response. This is
Secretary would
great.
care to respond to any of that.
Early then to say that calling me a liar are fighting words. I'm not a liar. We've never had a policy for family separation. I'm happy to walk the gentleman through it again. A policy of family separation would mean that any family that I encountered in the interior,
hold
I
on.
would
No,
separate.
you're
It
walk
would
up.
mean that any family that I found at a port of
Focus.
entry, I would
Focus.
separate. It would mean that every single family that I found illegally crossing, we would separate. We did none of those. What we did do is uphold the laws that Congress has passed, and we prosecuted those who choose to come here illegally. As far as not being compassionate, let me just tell you what I have done. And of course, he couldn't be bothered to stay, so I'm happy to tell the rest of the committee.
Yeah, walked out. What they are doing, though, those 3,000 people that are in Tijuana, they're making them stay in Mexico there while
Right.
their asylum cases are being processed.
That was a big item
That's a
yesterday. They kind
big-
of buried because, right, keep them outside of the United States.
Well, the people in
They're-
Tijuana
they
are
won't
not
come up here
happy.
anymore.
Do you see the mess they're leaving behind? They're defecating on the streets. There's garbage everywhere. It
Tucker
is.
Carlson called them dirty
Oh,
and
here we
lost a dozen sponsors.
Well, let's move on. And we want to thank our business benefactors who have joined us, joined the AM 560 family in our quest to feed 3,000 people this holiday season. Food for a year, clean water for life. Ditch Witch Midwest. Can't thank them enough because, Bruce, they made a $5,000 donation to Food for the Poor. Also, Lotario, can you help me out there? Am I pronouncing it right? I am the name assassin. Lotario Brothers Construction in Wooddale, Central Sod in Plainfield. Pavements, Bath Fitter of Chicagoland, Job Site Fabrication and Repair.
Bridges Restaurant in Michigan City. Can you pronounce that?
Joseph and Sons Mechanical, Inc.
Kevin S. Doherty Insurance.
And keep going.
Waterleaf Women's Clinic, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling.
The list goes on and
Matthew
on.
Hickey, Law of Chicago. He
Okay.
follows me on Twitter.
There you go.
Cafe Salsa.
To become a business benefactor, what you do is make a one-time donation of $2,500, and we give you 40 60-second commercials that air Monday through Friday right here. It is the best deal in Chicagoland radio, okay? Call Anjanette directly at 847-472-8951. That's 847-472-8951. We also want to thank our individual donors, people who have made a difference, because Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. If any of you have been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Bruce, you get off the plane. I don't know if you do well in Haiti. You get off the plane and your eyes burn.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to breathe because they're burning garbage on the street. It's unbelievable level of poverty. The buildings are still, from the 2010 earthquake, they're still under construction. Some are just left, the shell of a building is there. And the kids need help. The kids need food and clean water. 1 in 14 children do not live to see their 5th birthday. So we're asking people to make an individual donation of $80. And with that, you'll feed a child for a year and provide clean water for life. The number to donate, 844-862-4673. That's 844-862-HOPE. And again, make a donation on behalf of your well-fed child or grandchild and make a difference in the world. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, former police superintendent Gary McCarthy, who now wants to be your next mayor of Chicago, will be joining us. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Mourners honoring 2 CPD officers killed by a Metro train today. Bears playoff tickets sell out fast. Chicago man charged with making a bomb threat on a Greyhound bus. Peoria police catch the city's accused beef thief. Blackhawks top the Stars. Bulls host the Magic later on tonight. Cloudy, breezy, and colder in your forecast, and some snow. High 36. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
It's
the showdown over the shutdown. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
President Trump is plunging the country into chaos.
Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says a Trump tempered tantrum won't get him the wall funding he demands after House Republicans did put the money in their bill. So if there's no compromise today, a partial government shutdown starts tonight. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, President Trump is calling on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to use the so-called nuclear option, do away with the legislative filibuster, lowering the vote threshold from 60 to 51, possibly allowing for passage of the House spending plan. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says she hopes Senate Democrats will work with Republicans to keep the government open.
We hope that they'll step up and do their jobs today before they go home and take vacation for Christmas.
The House bill provides nearly $6 billion in border wall money. Dave?
Rachel, Democrats are also worried about the Pentagon. Now that Defense Secretary Jim Mattis announced he'll retire in February. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says it was Mattis's choice, but Fox's Jennifer Griffin reports from the Pentagon.
The truth is that this was not Mattis's choice. He was pushed out by the president. His influence has waned in recent months. One senior U.S. official told me that they have never seen morale as low in Pentagon meetings as they have in the past few days. Mattis was not in favor of pulling all U.S. troops out of Syria, but the president announced it anyway.
The president is also planning to pull half our troops out of Afghanistan next year, about 7,000. A big pickup truck recall from Ford here in the U.S. 410,000 F-150s, 250s, 350s, 450s, and F-550 trucks. Why? Well, water and contaminants can get into engine block heaters, potentially starting a fire, and 3 fires were reported in Canada, but no injuries. This is Fox News.
Light snow showers falling across the area. 34 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. 3 children and 3 adults are in serious condition after a fire on Chicago's far south side. Fire broke out near 118th and Michigan Avenue. Children were rescued by Chicago Fire, then rushed to Comer Children's Hospital. The adults transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center. Bail set at $200,000 for the man accused of firing a gun and setting off a chain of events that led to the deaths of 2 Chicago police officers. Edward Brown is charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon and reckless discharge of a firearm. Meantime, mourners will continue to honor 2 Chicago police officers struck and killed by that Metro train Monday. Mourners gathered yesterday in Oak Lawn for the wake of Officer Conrad Gary. They're gathering this morning for the wake of Officer Eddie Marmoleo. Marmoleo's funeral is scheduled for tomorrow. Gary's funeral services will be held this morning at the St. Rita Shrine. 1 man is dead following a 4-vehicle crash being investigated on the Kennedy Expressway. Meantime, authorities continue investigating a shooting on the Dan Ryan that left 1 man in stable condition. Bears playoff tickets have already sold out. Fans snatching up the tickets yesterday for a wild card or divisional game in about 2 hours. Chicago sports, Blackhawks beat the Stars 5-2 in Dallas. Bulls welcome in the Magic later on tonight. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, futures are lower again this morning. Uncertainty about whether there's a global economic slowdown has contributed to the selling. And now investors are also said to be concerned about a possible government shutdown. Nike is reporting better than expected earnings and higher sales for the fall quarter. Despite the controversy over its Colin Kaepernick ad, Nike's sales were up 10% in the recent quarter. Nike has said Kaepernick is only one of many athletes it features. Nike's sales in China were up 26%. More Americans are heading to dollar stores for their holiday shopping. Marshall Cohen, chief industry advisor at research firm the NPD Group, says more than 40% of shoppers it surveyed plan to visit a dollar store during the holidays. Even high-income shoppers are going to the stores. Researchers say they discovered them during the last recession. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next. on AM 560.
As we prepare to celebrate Christmas this year, AM 560, The Answer, wants to give a gift to you. The gift of Christmas music. From the morning of Christmas Eve all the way through Christmas Day.
I'm Dusty Rhodes with a warm winter's welcome to our annual holiday presentation. Again this year, the tradition continues.
Non-stop Christmas music. Right here on AM 560. From traditional favorites to hits from today. Our gift to you here on AM 560. Brought to you by Balance of Nature and by Wealth Management Group.
It's Dr. David Kolbaba.
It's our winter survival kit for this cold and flu season. It's power-packed with natural ingredients, and unlike the flu shot, it's safe and effective. First, it's our Sunny C 1000. It's highly absorbable, and it does not suppress your body's natural killer cells like most other vitamin C supplements do. And when you purchase your first bottle of our Sunny C 1000, I promise to include scientific data to back it up. And I'll also include a vitamin C dosage chart for you to customize how much is best for you, whether you're fighting off a cold or flu or you want a preventative dose to keep you from getting a cold or flu. Sunny C 1000. It's easy on the stomach, and it's essential in fighting illness. And when you order your Sunny C 1000 today, be sure to get more information on the rest of our winter survival kit. Call 800-794-1855. It's our Health Quest Radio hotline. And be sure to listen to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11. But for now, that number again, 800-794-1855.
What a year. Your home improvement to-do list still isn't done. But hey, at least you still have time to get the Ford vehicle you've always wanted. Just get to the final days of our holiday sales event. Stop by your local Ford dealer today. It's where you'll find our best offers of the season on Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. So, see you sometime between now and January 2nd. Ford, built for the holidays. And now, for a limited time, you can bring home a new F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months, only at your Ford dealer. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 72 months at $13.89 per month per $1,000 financed, regardless of down payment, is available on 18 model year F-150, excludes Raptor. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 1/2/19. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for qualifications and complete details.
It's 8:07 and a check on your morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
The northbound tri-state is jammed from Archer to Ogden, and it's a bit heavy from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are looking great right now. Southbound 53 traffic to beside Euclid Kirchhoff. Edens is fine. Kennedy has inbound delays Pulaski to the Burn Circle. 37 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 27 from Montrose, 28 to the Express. Outbound 29 minutes to the airport. On Eisenhower, 41 minutes, 390 to downtown, 28 from Manheim. Outbound 33 minutes to 390. Stevenson is an hour and 2 minutes, 355 for Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, I-80 to merge Bishop Ford, 38. Northwest Indiana's fine. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Steve Williams.
Today, mostly cloudy, breezy, and colder. The high today, 36. Breezy this evening, otherwise patchy clouds, low 24. Intervals of clouds and sun tomorrow, high 39. Flurries on Sunday morning, then periods of sunshine for the day, high at 40. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
33 at O'Hare. We've had some light snow showers crossing the area. Next news at 8:30, Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Really sing it, Bruce. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm saving my voice.
Oh, that's right. We have to save our voice because at 8:38 we have our annual Christmas Carol. Between and you and I honestly, we have not practiced like we have in years past. Right. Years past, we started on Monday.
Right.
We started what?
We're like Sinatra now, one take, and that's it. We're like Dan Proft, I think, one take.
Yeah, but I'm still a little under the weather, so I've lost my head voice, so I can't go high this year. So I'm struggling a little. It's been a rough week for Chicago police. We lost 2 of our officers, Conrad Gary and Eduardo Marmolejo, on what's Monday night already? I can't even remember it. It's just been awful. They were on the tracks. They were chasing a suspect, and of course, our condolences go out to them and their family members. And joining us live is former police superintendent Gary McCarthy. Also wants to be your next mayor of Chicago. Good morning, Mr. McCarthy.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Bruce. How are you?
Good. So just what is the protocol, and are they going to be changing? What is the rule if you're chasing a suspect onto the tracks? Or was there nothing in place? Or can you talk to us about that?
Well, I'm not positive what it will be for what we do here. These were not CTA trains, which makes a big difference.
Oh, that's right.
What has to happen is there has to be a notification to kill power so that they don't get electrocuted. But in this case, I think there were overhead wires. I think it was a different train. But, you know, the bottom line here, the thing that is so frustrating, and I just got to get this out, and granted, today is about giving these gentlemen their dignity, you know, the families our sympathies, and a time for mourning. But there has to be some outrage because, you know, if you walk into a theater and scream fire and somebody gets crushed in the ensuing stampede, or if you pull a fire alarm for a false alarm and the fire truck happens to run somebody over, or here's one that's even better. If you are fleeing the police in a vehicle after committing an armed felony and you hit somebody with your car and kill them, that's a murder. But yet you fire shots in the middle of an urban center, you flee the police, and the police get killed by an oncoming train, and the charge for this individual is criminal possession and criminal discharge of a firearm.
I know. I was shocked.
What is going on? This is, but you know what? We can't have it both ways. And you know, just last week, and I encourage you guys, maybe you did. If you bored for 45 minutes, I was at the City Club last week, and I talked about what we need to do as far as getting our feet back under us, as far as crime is concerned. And it starts with legitimate government, not just police legitimacy. The Chicago way has to change. We're accustomed to being lied to. The second thing is the recognition of the social economic divide that exists here. The third thing on my list was functional policing. And the last thing was criminal justice reform. And you know, the prosecution of criminals, everybody loves using the word accountability. But where's the accountability for criminals? And you know, Tony Preckwinkle and Kim Fox need to explain to the families and the police department why this individual was not charged with a more serious crime.
Well, like involuntary manslaughter. Yeah.
Well,
I thought for sure he'd be charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Well,
yeah, or reckless. Any which way you slice it, it's much more appropriate charge.
You seem to be coming down pretty hard on a guy who was just randomly shooting a gun and then an unfortunate series of circumstances occurred. But let me ask you this. In light of what you just said here, would you have voted to convict Jason Van Dyke had you been on the jury?
Well, let's just back up for a second, Bruce. You just said a guy randomly shooting a gun. Like that's no big deal?
No, it's something.
Are you kidding me?
It's something.
Are you kidding me?
It's a 30 caliber. It's a big deal. I would never do that.
But was it foreseeable? Was it foreseeable that the cops would? And it was
Did you hear the examples that I gave, though, Bruce?
No, I heard that. I heard that. So my question is
but
to
that's
you.
the way people get charged.
No, I understand. So my question. No, forget about that for a second. Let's get down to the mayoral race and why Mr. McCarthy has absolutely no chance of winning. And that is because, Mr. McCarthy, you are going to be lumped in with Rahm Emanuel. Look, I'm an admirer of what you did with the Chicago police. Chicago police were considered we're getting national accolades prior to Laquan McDonald. But unfortunately, you're lumped together with Rahm Emanuel on this, and I know you're trying to distance yourself from him, but I do want to ask you the question. Had you been on the Jason Van Dyke jury,
Bruce,
would you have voted to convict?
Bruce, no.
Why
You're
can't
not-
we ask the
Well,
question?
because that is such a stupid question. He separated, Mayor Emanuel fired him.
It's a legitimate
So
question
he has
to
separated
ask.
himself.
Would you
He
have
used
voted
fired
to
him as a
convict
scapegoat.
Jason Van Dyke, Mr. McCarthy?
I don't know why you're raising your voice to me.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I apologize
He's
for that.
had too much coffee.
I apologize
Here's the
to you for that.
question.
The question is, would you have voted to convict?
Don't answer his question.
Would you
He's
have voted
filling
to
in for Dan
convict?
Proft. Mr. McCarthy,
Hey,
Superintendent.
have you guys met each other?
Yeah, we have. That's good. The question that I was going to ask you, sticking on topic, was about the person who owned the gun said that in reference to the two police officers who were killed, Conrad Gary and Eduardo Marmolejo, the gun owner said he misplaced his weapon that was in a fanny pack when he was taking the garbage out. Should he be held accountable? Because when you have a weapon, you have to make sure that that weapon is secured.
Well, so this is something that I talked about years ago when I got here. There's no requirement here to report a missing firearm, even if it's if it's a legal gun. If you legally possess a gun, there's no rule to report that gun lost or stolen in the state of Illinois. And this is about accountability. This is how legal guns become illegal guns. What happens is somebody buys a gun legally, transfers it to somebody else illegally. That gun gets used in a crime, gets recovered. We go and interview the owner. He says, "Oh my God, I didn't even know that gun was missing." Or, "Yeah, I lost that gun a month ago, and I just didn't get around to reporting it." And that should be prosecuted. That's the straw purchase thing that we hear about all the time. That's how those guns get illegally transferred.
All right, now that we've dwelt on the minutia that is not of anyone's concern in the mayoral race, again, I ask you, would you have convicted Jason Van Dyke?
Hey, Bruce, here's your answer, okay? And if you're talking about two cops getting murdered as minutia,
no, this
conversation isn't going to go much further.
You're saying these
It's not
cops
gonna
were
go much
murdered?
further.
And I'm
Now, I
on
said,
McCarthy's side on
These
this.
cops were
Now
murdered
I'm
by
telling
this
you-
guy?
now
Well,
I'm
you're
telling you that I'm
a
going to
hardliner,
answer.
Mr.
Stop-
McCarthy, on this
stop
guy. Are you a
raising your voice
hardliner
to me.
on Jason Van Dyke, Mr. McCarthy?
Who are you hollering at?
At you, Mr. McCarthy.
Have you and I ever met before?
Who? Me and you?
Here's the answer to your question.
Yeah, what's the
Even
answer?
though Amy says not to answer it. The answer is I didn't watch the trial, so I can't even answer your question.
Well, so you're
I
not
don't
aware.
know the
You're not
evidence
aware
that
of the
was
facts of the
presented.
case. You certainly offered your opinion during the course of while this was going through what amounts to the discovery portion of this. You saw the videotape.
Oh, really?
You
What
saw
did
the
I- what-
you saw
what
the
opinion did I
you
offer,
saw the
Bruce?
videotape. So you have no opinion then
Bruce,
as to
what
whether Jason
opinion-
Van
what
Dyke was
opinions-
guilty.
Hey, listen, I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this conversation. This is nonsense. You're talking over me. You're hollering at me.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do that.
We're just trying to have a civil conversation.
And how about
Bruce.
fact check? Tell me what opinions I offered. What is it that you're talking about?
You were on with Mike Flannery. You watched the videotape, and you were taking a look, and you were kind of taking Mr. Van Dyke's, Officer Van Dyke's side. I want to know, after having watched...
Absolutely, positively false.
Oh, that's false.
Absolutely,
okay, we'll have to get the tape on that.
positively false.
Okay,
Well, Bruce,
what
did
is
you-
your
Bruce, did you even
opinion?
see it? Bruce, did you
All
even
right,
see
look,
it?
if you're not going to let me talk, I'm going to...
No, go ahead, talk.
This
Go
is
ahead.
nonsense.
Go ahead.
I keep trying to, and you keep raising
ahead.
your voice and talking over me.
Go ahead.
So there's no way, no how, that I defended the actions of Jason Van Dyke. That is a false narrative. I don't know where you're getting it from.
Okay, what's your opinion right now, having watched this trial? What's your opinion?
I just don't know why
just
we're
told you I did not
relitigating this.
watch the
He
trial.
didn't
So you
watch
have
the
no
trial.
opinion.
And the answer is,
It wasn't up to his
that the justice system has spoken.
Yep.
Period.
All right, let's move on.
And that's the case that I've been dealing with.
Okay, Paul Vallis
Period.
dropped his petition challenge against you earlier this week. Is there any other petition challenges still going in reference to your campaign?
No, absolutely not. And,
Okay.
And just to be clear, that we were never in danger of not having 12,500 signatures. That was simply an annoyance and a method to try and distract us.
Yeah, because I respect you. You got into this race long before Mayor Emanuel decided that he was not going to run again. So what are you doing in the last few months to try and get the vote out, to try and convince people that you should be our next mayor?
It's called truth-telling, laying out a platform that addresses all the issues that we need to address here, starting with gun violence and crime. That's the number one issue in the city. That's what the polling says. That's what people tell me all the time. Number two are taxes and the economy here. And number three is the education system. And from there falls out a whole bunch of other issues like affordable housing, police reform, infrastructure, and things like that. So we've been going, basically, small groups of individuals having these conversations and bucking to what it is that we're going to do. The other thing we've been doing is fundraising. And, you know, it's a shame that the American electoral process is all about raising funds and not talking about issues and who's better for a job and why.
Are you going
That's
to
what we've
these?
been doing.
Yeah, because now Bill Daley's in. Like, gosh, he's got a commercial out to, and he's finally not wearing a suit. I think for the first time in my life, I've seen him not in his suit because, you know, he's like the everyday man, right? But you're competing against a juggernaut like that. He already has $3 million plus. Tony Preckwinkle got $1 million from some, I think, SEIU. What can you do though? Because I mean, commercials cost a lot of money.
Yeah, well, we've already raised more than $1 million, which, you know, it's a lot of money to me, that's for sure. But, you know, in the next couple of months, we have to get on the air, and that's very, very expensive. And we've got commitments from a number of very large donors, and we've already got commercials filmed. We're just waiting to put them on the air. We're waiting for the right time, get through the holidays, and take it from there. We're going to take a shot at it. Everybody tells me the same thing. Chicago needs change. And, you know, anybody who jumped into this race after the mayor came out is not doing it for the right reason. You've got all the old politicians and bureaucrats coming out of the woodwork.
Okay.
Mr. McCarthy.
Right, we're losing him.
For a different reason.
Yeah.
And we're just going to, of course.
First of all, Mr. McCarthy, I want to apologize for my excitable attitude. I'm not used to being on the radio. But let me ask you this question. You did say on Mike Flannery's show that Officer Van Dyke was in a tactically inferior position when he shot and killed Laquan McDonald.
Which he put himself in, absolutely. And that's not supporting him. That's saying that he made a mistake by being in the position that he was in.
Yep.
Can I tell you something, Bruce?
Yes.
Can I tell you something,
Yes.
Bruce? I've literally made probably between 800 and 1,000 gun arrests in my police career. And every one of those is an armed confrontation with a criminal. I have never fired my gun except for at the range. So for me to talk about tactics, it's what I'm supposed to do as a leader and as a supervisor of police. Because that's how you prevent yourself from getting into bad positions and make mistakes. And that's exactly what I said.
And we're going to leave it there for today. Superintendent Gary McCarthy, thank you so much for coming on. Took a little different turn than I expected, but that's all right. And God bless you and your family, and Merry Christmas.
It's not the first time I've been holidaying.
I know. But thank you for coming on.
It will be the last time.
And we hope to have
Happy
you back.
holidays.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie capsules contain 100% vine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind. And it is undeniably one of the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water, some a little higher, some a little lower. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to take out the water and air, leaving only whole food, which maintains 99.9% of its original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health. Make sense? To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, guys. Oh, yeah. It's hard to be perfect, right? Especially when it comes to finding that great Christmas gift for your wife or girlfriend. But this year, you can score a perfect 10 with her, with all the new Perfect 10 pajamas from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts. Because perfect 10 pajamas are created to be the PJs of her dreams. It feels like silk, only softer, gentle, relaxing touch. She'll love it. And you'll score because every pajamagram includes free gift packaging, delivery by Christmas guaranteed, lifetime guarantee, so you risk nothing on those perfect 10 pajamas. So get yours today by going to pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs. That's 1-800-GIVE-PJs. And be sure to tell them that Dan and Amy sent you.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Brian Duncan, co-founder of Signature Bank. Born and raised in Chicagoland, my partners and I knew this city needed a locally owned business bank. As fellow entrepreneurs, we know the challenges facing businesses, and we are invested in our customer success. We are here to build mutually beneficial, long-term, lasting relationships with our customers. We look forward to helping our customers reach their goals every day, and we are here to see them succeed. At Signature Bank, you work directly with decision makers who understand your business and can deliver on their promises.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Well, let's just go straight to the phone calls. Brad joins us from the West Loop. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, good morning. I've been listening for years, a couple hours a day. I've heard you and Bruce, and, such happy times. And, Bruce, you're just kind of being a jerk today. I don't know what else to say. I love you, and just your attitude has been a little off. I don't know what's going on.
With regard to what?
Well,
that interview
we
just
with
did,
McCarthy
and just relitigating
Diamond
that
and
whole.
Silk.
Yeah, Diamond and Silk. Now we lost Diamond and Silk.
Because Diamond and Silk were engaging in a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, but they
were overstating the case.
They're provocateurs. That's what they do. That's why they're Diamond and Silk.
And I can answer, and I can respond to them when they're being ridiculous.
No, you can, and it's just like with Trump. I like the results he's getting, but it's the attitude and method that I don't like, and. So that's just my feedback, and take
right,
with it.
Thanks, Brad.
I appreciate it, Brad. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Verlon. Verlon. Hi, Verlon.
Hey, how y'all doing today? Listen, Bruce, you have been awesome all day, and I don't even think Dan could have vigorously interrogated Mr. McCarthy like that. You're spot on. He doesn't have a chance in hell in winning. And Amy, I love you. You know I love you. But I think you were wrong for carrying water for Gary McCarthy in that interview. And let me tell you, the question that Bruce asked, a third of the population of Chicago would have been proud of him. A third of the population of Chicago is black, and guess who cares about the Van Dyke shooting? Black people. And you can't win mayor without black people. So Bruce, you're spot on.
Well, thank you, Verlon. I want to say, and just to,
Thanks,
if
Verlon.
I may,
Merry Christmas,
if I may,
dear.
as I said to Gary McCarthy, I admire the job he did with the Chicago Police Department.
They love him.
I admire the job he did. I am sorry for my demeanor. I tend to be excitable. I haven't been on the radio very long, so I don't know how to be on the radio.
But you.
But third thing I will say, though, however, is he is ready to charge with murder this guy who happened to be shooting a gun, and he's a chef. He's not a gangbanger or anything like that.
He's walking down the street like he's tagging up a building.
I understand.
He's just shooting. No, this guy found a fanny pack. He went to go take a piss or pee. Sorry, excuse me. Can I say that? Oh, my trouble.
And I'm the one who's chastised.
And he found a fanny pack with a .30 caliber, and he was firing it.
Okay, we'll charge.
And come on.
We'll charge this guy with murder.
It's called involuntary manslaughter. You can't get probation for involuntary.
But Jason
Van Dyke, I thought, should have been charged with involuntary manslaughter too.
Who shot a kid, 15 times when he was on the ground.
He's not a kid. Laquan McDonald was not a kid. He was a 19-year-old
Gary McCarthy
thug.
has no opinion on.
Oh my God.
Okay,
David joins us from Evanston. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
You get sucked into that BS with that 8th grade graduation picture they keep showing. He was a 19-year-old tattooed up thug. Go, David.
Good morning, Amy. I just want to say that my wife and I really enjoy listening to the morning show because you and Dan provide a very reasoned explanation of positions. We get a lot of information listening from you. But I'll tell you that Bruce asking gotcha questions and then getting really bent out of shape with your radio guest.
What was the gotcha question, David?
That was not even.
It was asking about relitigating Laquan McDonald.
What was the gotcha question, David? What was the gotcha question?
It was like Bruce admitted you were trying to ask him a gotcha question.
What is the gotcha question? Will you tell me what the...
You weren't trying to enlighten us, Bruce.
I wanted to know if he thought Jason Van Dyke was guilty. That's a question. That's what the people of Chicago want to know.
But it's not his decision to decide. It was up to a jury, and they've already
come on,
done
everybody's got an opinion on that. Now who's being naive, Kay?
All right, thanks, David, for the call. Candace, real quickly from Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin.
Bruce, I love you, but stop being a little bitch this morning. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye. And a day cannot be complete without speaking to Sean from Elmwood Park. Hi, Sean. How are you? I miss you. I love you. Come back.
I love you too, Amy, but I have to tell you something. I don't like the defense line of this guy. Oh, he found the gun in the fanny pack. I mean, we're kind of being a little gullible. And Bruce asked a very pointed question, and that he just didn't ask it right. You covered up you helped cover up in the Van Dyke scandal.
Well, no, how did he help cover up? Rahm Emanuel is the one who said that he didn't want. Rahm Emanuel was responsible for that video being released or not
Amy,
released.
This guy is part of the corruption for years. Now all of a sudden he knows what's right. I don't buy it, Amy. I'm sorry. This is not just Van Dyke. There's other police. The story about Rahm Emanuel's kid. That's where it's hubbed. It's all nonsense. I mean, this guy's not who he thinks he is. I know he's got a thick mustache and he looks like Tom Selleck losing his hair. But if he didn't, you wouldn't know his name because he's part of the corruption. Bruce, calm down just a little. Do I have to come in there and slap you in the forehead?
Yes.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer. Oh, favorite moments of 2018. We might have just had one. And we'll take your phone calls on that. And then our Christmas song, Gangster Style. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Emergency crews at this moment are scouring the Lake Michigan shoreline of Chicago for a second person missing after pulling an individual out of the water this morning near North Avenue Beach. The person rescued was rushed to Northwestern Hospital and reportedly in stable condition at the moment. Emergency responders responded to 911 calls around 7:30 this morning about two lost in the water. Partial government shutdown could begin at midnight after the House approved a spending bill that includes a $5 billion spending plan for the president's border wall. All 49 Democrats in the Senate promised to vote against the funding wall. The current funding rules say the bill needs 60 votes to pass in the Senate. In a tweet this morning, the president urged the GOP to back the funding bill. Gatwick Airport in London is restarting limited service after a drone shut down the airport all of Thursday. Larger than usual drones were seen flying near runways at least 50 times. Sussex police and the English military are considering shooting down any drones if they get a good shot. 3 children and 3 adults are in serious condition following a fire that broke out on Chicago's far south side. Blaze broke out near 118th Street and Michigan Avenue. Children rushed to Comer Children's Hospital. Mourners honoring 2 Chicago police officers struck and killed by a Metro train this week continue to gather outside a funeral home in Oak Lawn. They were there yesterday for the wake of Officer Conrad Gary, whose funeral is today. Also, police officers and community members are lining up for the wake of Officer Eddie Marmoleo, also at the Blake Lamb Funeral Home. Governor-elect J.B. Pritzker has named former State Comptroller Dan Hines as a deputy governor among top staff picks. Illinois schools will have a new option to find substitute teachers in the new year. A new law signed by Governor Bruce Rauner for 2019 allows school districts to work with temp agencies to find qualified substitutes. Chicago sports, Blackhawks beat the Dallas Stars 5-2. Bulls welcome the Magic later tonight. The news is a service of Lowe's. Pros in the know start with Lowe's. Save 5% on eligible purchases every day with a Lowe's Business Credit Account. 5% savings in-store and online, subject to credit approval. cannot be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager says we have reason to worry for our democracy.
This indictment, he may have paid off or asked his lawyer to pay off people and then violated campaign finance law. I am afraid for my country. What we are seeing here is exactly what happens in the third world, where powers use their government for political ends.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
Oh, no colds, no flu, lots of energy, just overall well-being. It's just if I stop taking it, I see the difference. I would never stop with these. I would keep them on hand always.
Well, I got more energy for sure. I don't feel the same if I don't take this every day. I think it's improved my life greatly because I was feeling real sluggish before, sluggish and tired. I had like this brain fog. It's all gone now. I've been taking this stuff and I feel like I have the energy of an 18-year-old with the looks of a 30-year-old, and I'm 50. It's crazy. This stuff is crazy. I love it.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
8:37. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Southbound Lakeshore Drive, traffic is stop and go from Irving Park to North Avenue. There's a water rescue operation going on around North Avenue Beach right now. Northbound Lakeshore Drive is heavy before Soldier Field to Balboa. Tri-State Tollway delays are northbound 47th, 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower, the other tollways look great. Edens is fine. The Kennedy, 34 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 24 from Montrose, 26 on the Express. Outbound 25 to the airport. About Eisenhower, delays start at North Avenue. 45 minutes, 390 to downtown. 28 from Manheim. Outbound 31 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 54 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 37. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishopford, 42, 8094 to the Verge. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. From the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 hour heating and air conditioning weather center, cloudy, breezy, and colder today. A high near 36, currently 34. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Bah humbug. There's supposed to be a fun last half hour here on AM 560 The Answer, but no. Let's take your phone calls.
Do you ever want to work with me again, Amy?
Of course.
Is this the last day?
Oh, you know. Separation will make me grow fond of you again, we hope. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line, 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment, and we are getting lots of comments and lots of phone calls. Let's go to Ralph in Rantoul. Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning.
I'm the voice of calm.
I too find it somewhat shocking that McCarthy kind of takes the Obama defense on a lot of this stuff. You know, hey, I found all this stuff out by reading it in the news or whatnot. But all I would ask is, please, Bruce, whatever it takes, more decaf, stronger decaf. We got to calm you down, because if they don't allow you back to host when people are on vacation, we'll get more Sean from Elmwood Park in the studio.
And we
so
can.
if you love us,
I
if you love
understand.
us, Bruce,
I did
you gotta
apologize.
do it.
I alternated yelling and apologizing for yelling.
I know.
at
What
Mr.
I
McCarthy.
was afraid of is that if he was in the studio, I was afraid that you're going to reach over and pluck out parts of his mustache.
He's bigger than
All
I
right.
am.
Thanks, Bruce.
Okay.
And he's
Thank you.
probably packing, I can imagine.
I'm afraid of guns.
Favorite moments of 2018, because this is our last live program for 2018. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Enter line 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Bruce, what was your favorite moment of 2018 besides
It just happened
what just
10 minutes ago.
That was your favorite moment?
I'd probably vote for Gary McCarthy if I lived in the city. That's the funny part of it. 2018 favorite. Oh, it was when This Is Us returned.
Oh.
And I saw that they were going to have a flashback, Vietnam flashback with Jack, because I thought we weren't going to see him much anymore.
Is this the theme to This Is Us?
It's the same thing, Home Alone.
Home Alone, sorry. So you're a This Is Us type of guy,
Oh,
huh?
I'm very sentimental and sappy.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Mine was the Kavanaugh hearings. Kavanaugh! 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 Oh, sorry, Justin. And the favorite part of the Kavanaugh hearings, when they talked about Squiggy, Squee, Wee.
And there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 F's in front of the 4th of July. What does that signify, if anything?
One of our friends, Squee, when he said the F word, starting at a young age, had kind of a wind up to the F word. Kind of a and then the word would come out. And when we were 15, we thought that was funny, and it became an inside joke for how he would say and I won't repeat it here, for the F word.
Referring to Georgetown versus Louisville and...
You want any more on the Fs?
No.
I mean, it was so chaotic, and it was so emotional, and then it was goofy at times.
Did the word, Ralph, you used in your yearbook
I already
relate
answered
to
the question.
alcohol?
If you're...
Did it relate to alcohol?
I like
You
beer.
haven't answered that.
I like beer. I don't know if you do.
Okay.
Do you like beer, Senator, or not? What do you like to drink?
Next one is...
Senator, what do you like to drink?
He's not showing the judicial temperament that I showed with Gary McCarthy.
Oh,
I'll tell you that much.
oh boy.
Okay.
And it gets a little emotional there too.
But anyway, we had no social media or text or email, and we talked on the phone. I remember talking almost every night, it seemed, to my friends Amy or Julie.
Crying. I love Julie.
Or Kristen, or Karen, or Suzanne, or Maura, or Megan, or Nikki. The list goes on. Friends for a lifetime, built on a foundation of talking through school and life, starting at age 14. Several of those great women are in the seats right behind me today.
And some of them are Democratic women, and they supported him. I learned a lot. He was crying, of course, because his character was under attack.
Right.
And his whole world
But he
was
doesn't
about
have
to
a
fall
judicial
apart.
temperament because he's being attacked, and he gets excited about that. And then, of course, he doesn't have a judicial temperament.
This is Keith Conrad's favorite moment during the Kavanaugh hearings. A comment from Lindsey Graham.
Are you a gang rapist?
No.
You don't get asked that every day, do you? Because most of those stories fell through the lady that's claimed that they're having gang raping women.
Sure. She kept going back to gang rapes.
No,
she
but
went to 10 gang rapes.
He wasn't even there. And then she got called out by Kate Snow from NBC News. So that's the other part of the story I think that a lot of people didn't hear, didn't focus on.
You know what? The people like Eric Zorn in the Tribune and other liberals, they were dwelling on, well, we're going to catch him lying on something.
Right.
And Colin Jost, which is why I don't watch Saturday Night Live anymore. I mean, I can take these sophomoric Trump sketches with Alec Baldwin, but when you see Colin Jost calling Brett Kavanaugh a liar, when in fact Devil's Triangle has an innocent definition from his Georgetown prep days. Boofing has an innocent definition. If you want to take these things one by one.
Yeah.
And his character was being assassinated, and yeah, he got a little angry. He was justified. Was I justified getting angry at Gary McCarthy? Of course not.
Well,
but he was
the
justified.
best part, Matt Damon playing Brett Kavanaugh.
Judge Kavanaugh, are you ready to begin? Oh, hell yeah. Let me tell you this. I'm going to start at an 11. I'm going to take it to about a 15 real quick. First of all, I showed this speech to almost no one. Not my family, not my friends, not even PJ or Tobin or Squee. This is my speech. There are others like it, but this is mine. I wrote it myself last night while screaming into an empty bag of Doritos.
It was funny. Justin Kosick, birthday boy, what was your favorite moment from 2018?
So my favorite moment of 2018 is a playoff of what happened in 2017 in front of the LA City Council, the house party freaks.
Chad Kruger, the house party enthusiast.
House party enthusiast? Over the past week, I've been in a state of deep despair upon hearing the news that LA is trying to outlaw house parties in the Hollywood Hills. I am here
So that was the first one. That was last year. And so they came back this year in fight of the bird scooters that are in L.A.
Oh,
apparently they're making a mess on the street. L.A. wants to get rid of them. And J.T. Parr and Chad Kroger go at it with the L.A. City Council.
What up, Council? My name is Chad Kroger. I'm from San Clemente, but despite being from there, I love to kick it in West Hollywood. So, I'm an activist and scooter devotee. I stand before you here today because word has spread that you guys are considering giving bird scooters the heave-ho. In the short time that I've used these scooters, they've come to impact my life hugely. I get tremendous joy as I travel from Poke Shop to Smoothie Shop on these wonderful chariots. My dog, JT, even says I express my emotions more freely after a ride, which is pretty tight. 7 years ago, I would have been amped on the ban. It wasn't until I met Duncan Hockenberry that my perspective began to shift. He wanted to join the squad, but he was a Razor scooter dude, and I thought that was pretty lame. But then we partied at his parents' house, and they had a super sick infinity pool, and I realized I had judged him too quickly. We even tandem rode his scooter to cop a 30 rack from Save-On. It was beautiful.
So there was fun. You know, that's when politics becomes fun. You get the young people involved in the process. 312-642-5600, your favorite part of 2018. Let's go to Tom, who joins us from Deer Park. Good morning, Tom.
Hello, good morning. You know, I love your show. It's the only talk radio show that I can stomach on your station. And the thing that I like the most about what you guys cover was the Kavanaugh hearings, and it united the right. It brought together MAGA, Never Trumper, conservatives, Republicans, cult 45ers. For once, we were all on the same team, and we got the correct result and exposed the hypocrisy and the foolishness of the left. So I thought that was a uniting moment for us.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. And Merry Christmas, and thanks for listening.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Nothing speaks louder about an auto dealer than a happy customer. And at Joe Cotton Ford, they have many.
I had a 2001 Excursion, was about 6 months old. We got T-boned, $29,000 worth of damage, bent the frame. After a few months, got it back from you guys, and it actually drove and rode better than when I got it from the factory. Well, service visits are always top-notch. You know, your service department, starting with Dave and going down all your service riders, are just amazing.
Another reason why folks keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Joe Cotton Ford wishes you the happiest holidays ever and gives you the gift of 0% for 72 months on many of Ford's most popular vehicles for qualified buyers. And get the biggest rebates of the year on all remaining 2018 models at Joe Cotton Ford. No hype and no pressure. It's why generations of customers keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today. 0% for 72 months is only for a limited time. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs, get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido, Chicago anesthesia and pain specialist, will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham, said, "The essence of investment management is the management of risk, not returns." Hi, this is Joe Lopresti, president of Arlington Capital Management. I'm here to explain how we help manage our clients' exposure to risk. We're the creators of our proprietary proactive asset allocation strategy, known as PAS. It is designed to analyze important market trends and alert us to potential changes in the market. But that's only part of what I believe makes Arlington Capital Management unique. It's the care and personalized service we provide our clients that really defines us. We understand how important your financial goals are to you and your family, and we never take that responsibility lightly. It all starts by understanding the things that are most important to you. It's part of the Arlington Capital Management difference. To experience it for yourself, schedule your complimentary consultation by calling 855-471-5796. That's 855-471-5796, or visit arlington-capital.com.
Hey, are you thinking about the IRS right now? Man, if the IRS is coming after you, your problem, your IRS problem is there day and night. You need help to fight the IRS. I recommend you call my very good friend, Attorney Stephen Leahy of Open Tax Resolutions. Hey, he's got a special offer going on right now. If you're not certain about your position with the IRS, he will pull your personal IRS transcripts and find out exactly where you stand for free. Find out where you stand. If you owe back taxes, if you have unfiled returns. Hey, if you're afraid of the IRS, call my friend Steve Leahy now. 312-664-6649. Steve's the host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard every Sunday at 5 right here on AM 560. He's also a really good friend of mine, and I don't know of anybody better in dealing with the IRS. Call him now. Steve Leahy, 312-664-6649. That's 312-664-6649.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's actually really been helping my system and my lupus and my gastro problems. So I'm actually very happy with the product.
Acid reflux is pretty much under control. That's why I keep taking it.
I have noticed, I'm sleeping better since I started taking the Balance of Nature and all the other things I'm doing.
I can't believe how wonderful your product is. I listened to you guys on the radio for years and years and years, and I listened to all the testimonials. I go, well, it's probably time to give it a try. And I've been just happy as could be ever since.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560.
The Answer. All right. 'Tis the season. 'Tis for happiness. Let's go to Mike in Union. We're talking about our favorite parts of 2018. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? I kind of have two favorites. My first would be when Sean from Elmwood Park is not on the radio. And the second one is when Bruce Wolf is not singing. Sorry, Bruce.
Funny you should say that. You might want to plug your ears because we have something special.
Here it comes, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys have a Merry Christmas, huh?
You too, Mike. And thank you for calling. All right, so we did a inappropriate song a few years ago. Baby, It's Cold Outside. When you slipped me a roofie. Sure. Remember? You bad boy.
It was okay it was de rigueur in the 40s.
Okay.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
been hoping that you drop in.
Very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like
My
ice.
mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your hurry?
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to that fireplace roar.
So really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry.
Well, maybe just to have a drink more.
I'll put some records on while I pour.
The neighbors might think.
But baby, it's bad out
Can I stop
there.
now?
Hey, jeez. You know, you're going to deter me from
Honestly?
doing this year's song. I don't want to hear that. When I'm singing it, I think I'm Michael Bublé. I think I'm Michael
I know.
Bublé.
I think I sound
Yeah.
good, and then you
But
hear
then
it.
I hear
and-
it.
Well, all right. Then what about last year's?
Silent night,
Holy night,
all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant,
All right,
so
all right.
tender and mild.
Wait, or get out of it.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're trying this song, and
All right.
just-
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Just like the ones I used to know.
Where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells
in the snow.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm
dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write.
Let it breathe, Bruce. May your days be merry and bright.
And may all your Christmases be white.
I still perspire after singing all that. Whew. All right. Thank you. I hear people laughing back there, Marcus Brown, but I don't even think he was listening. But we want you to listen up because we want you. We're just getting close to the finish line. Not there yet. For our Food for the Poor campaign 2018. Goal to feed 3,000 kids. Food for a year and clean water for life. I was there in Haiti. I have seen the poverty firsthand. And the best thing is your contributions last year, they were put to work quickly. Within 28 days, that village in Savan-Cabritz was completely raised, and they had nice, modest, little small homes, but with running water, flushing toilets. It was just beautiful. And the kids were so happy. And to see the family that I met, the smiles on their face, to know that they would be giving grains and clean water, really just, it means the world, and especially during the holiday season, it means the world to them. One-time donation, make it at 844-862-HOPE. That's 844-862-4673. And you can also become a business benefactor.
Yes, you can. Any business that makes a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor will receive 40 60-second commercials Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. on AM 560 The Answer. For a business that wants to be involved in this program, here's how you do it. Call sales manager Anjanette Nakowski
directly at 847-472-8951. That's 847-472-8951, and ask for the Business Benefactor Program.
And as always, we wish you all a very happy, safe, and healthy holiday season and a new year. Thanks to all the people who've sent Christmas cards into the station, our friend Grace and Jamie Abrams and everybody that listens. We really appreciate you, and we hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. And thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
For filling in. Justin Kosick, thank you. Quinn McCarthy, Merry Christmas to you and your newborn child. And to Keith Conrad, our executive producer. And have a great new year. Now let's get into the newsroom. Here is the one and only Rock of Gibraltar, Mike Scott.
Bears playoff tickets sell out fast. 6 seriously hurt in a Southside fire. Illinois' governor signs a new school construction law, and the Blackhawks top the Stars. Cloudy, breezy, and colder today, a high of 36. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.
A strategy session at the White House.